Savings may vary. See terms and conditions at straighttalk.com.
Broadcasting everywhere.
What's up, world?
Patchin and Lukens, weekdays at 3 at 700ESPN.com.
Ladies and gentlemen.
You ready for the big show?
Ready?
Are you ready?
Are you ready?
Are you ready?
Ready. You're ready for the party?
This will turn journalism on its ear.
Go!
Broadcasting from the Frost Brewed Coors Light Studio, it's time for Patchin and Lukens.
700 ESPN, 105.3 FM. It's Patchin and Lukens here in the Frost Brewed Coors Light Studio. Thanks so much for being with us. Appreciate you stopping by. Oh, it's the end of a week, and I think a lot of us are ready for another end of the week. Thank you. If this is not your Friday, I apologize. I apologize, but I feel your pain. 12 years I had Mondays and Tuesdays off.
Ooh.
I feel your pain. I actually liked it because that means I got to anchor Saturday and Sunday where all the sports were happening, so I had no problems with that.
I had that too. Back when I first was starting.
Monday, Tuesdays off? Yeah.
Golf was better.
Yeah, I didn't get a lot of golf in.
I did.
I started having kids, and that cut down on my golfing time. So, Vince Grippy's filling in for Rick Lukens today. Thank you for being here. Appreciate that. Mark's in the control room, filling in for Steve the Wingman, as we did yesterday. Yesterday's the first time since Rick's been on the show that both Rick and Steve were gone at the same time. So Mark's doing a great job. He's going to be filling in for about 3 weeks on and off because Steve's going to take another couple of weeks off here. So thank you, Mark, for doing that. The text line is open, 315-7833, 315-7833. It's always open. Ryan Divish is going to join us today at 5 o'clock. It's the last 3 times we've had Ryan on the show. When I've initially reached out to him to get him to come on our show, and we always appreciate it when he comes on, was the original reach out was not only because Vince is here, because you and Ryan go way back.
Yep.
You'll have to tell that story on how you guys.
It was Cougar stuff.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Okay. So Vince said, hey, let's get Ryan on. So I said, great, we can talk about the trade deadline and what's going on. Between the time I reached out and the time he's going to come on our show today, he wrote the story on Felix Hernandez, who sounds like a little kid who got told there will be no more presents for your birthdays, and he's 8. And he sounds, in Ryan's story, sounds lost. He sent his family. They didn't come to Seattle with him this year, which I don't.
Well, they had the house, and I think he sold his house.
Did he sell the house?
I did. I think they sold it when the market was pretty hot last fall.
Yeah.
Because I'm not sure he was. Honestly, I bet you he wasn't sure whether he'd be coming back this year.
Okay.
And the market was hot. I think it sold, and it was a good time to sell.
And you know what? I completely understand. You don't want to start your kids in school here and then move them during the off season, then move them back when the season starts. But the fact that they're not here once school gets out, I don't get that.
Yeah, maybe they're comfortable where they are. Maybe he's not happy and he's not a good person to be with at home when he's not happy. I mean,
he sounds in the story, and we'll talk more with Ryan Divish about this coming up at 5 o'clock. Vince, he sounds depressed. He talked about he goes out, gets his work done, and he goes home and he goes to bed.
Yeah.
He's forget about being at a crossroads in his Mariner career. He's at a crossroads in life. And this is something that all athletes have to deal with when and eventually they say, that's it, you're done. Because most athletes don't get to retire on their own terms, or at least retire how they want to.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Felix Hernandez thought he would ride off in the sunset as a Mariner on his way to Cooperstown, maybe help him win a world championship or two, and none of that is going to happen. And how old is he? 32?
33, I think.
Okay. He's got 50 years left to live.
Yeah. All that being said, the one thing I will say about Felix Hernandez that I will always give him 100% is is he bought into being a Seattle Mariner.
Yes.
And I think that's maybe what hurts him the most, is he bought in to being a Seattle Mariner, never been successful. He probably would like to be able to end the career on his own terms because everybody else left. I mean, Edgar stayed, but Edgar was different. It took Edgar until he was almost 33 before he was in the big league.
Right.
No, I mean, I'm exaggerating. But
27. He was a rookie at 27.
yeah, but Felix bought in. He signed a contract that was worth a lot of money, yes, but he could have got that and more probably in New York and been in New York and won World Series. But he said, no, I'm staying here. This is the team that gave me a chance. It's the team that brought me to the big leagues early, that I grew up with. I'm comfortable here. I'm staying here. And now they're saying, we don't want you anymore. And that doesn't happen all that much in Major League Baseball anymore because guys move.
Right.
You don't get that contract you want. You take off. Well, they gave him the contract he wanted. He stayed, and now it's over, and he's not ready to quit because he's not that old. I mean, he is that old in baseball terms.
Yeah.
But he still wants to keep playing.
He's 32. He's baseball. He's 55, and his arm's 117. Yeah. And you know what? Jerry DiPoto and Scott Service don't owe anything to this guy. They owe him because he's a Mariner icon.
Right.
But they don't. If he can't perform, they don't. They moved him to the bullpen last year because, one, he wouldn't do what they told him to do, and two, he was not effective. They said, you know what, pal? Screw you. And I think the fact that Stottlemyre is not there is a byproduct of what happened between Felix, Service, and DiPoto. I really do. Either the Mariner management blamed him for not getting Felix to do it, or he sided with Felix saying, look, this guy, we need to let him deal with this on his own. And they said, we're not letting that happen. I mean, if you want to be mad at Jack Sorensic. You had, when he was the general manager, the best pitcher, the best right-hander, or one of the best right-handers in baseball, and you squandered his years.
Yep. It's sort of like what the Angels are doing with Mike Trout.
Yeah.
I mean, he's an angel. He's always going to be an angel. They may never win. And when his career is winding down, it'll be interesting to see how they deal with it. I don't know if he's as – and this is probably a tough word. I don't think Felix has ever been very mature as an athlete in the sense that he took his God-given ability and just ran with it, and that's all he's really ever had to do. I think Mike Trout's a little more mature about himself and his body and taking care of it and everything. So he may handle it better. But I believe Felix is a young, as you said, young mentally 33-year-old man. And that's – so he's not dealing with it well. He thinks he still has years left, I believe. And we don't know, Des. Maybe he needs the money. We don't know. We don't know what his life's like, what happened to $175 million. I mean, you think, oh, no way you can get – it's happened to people before.
Well, Adrian Peterson had made over $100 million playing in the National Football League, and he owes multiple millions of dollars to people. I certainly hope that if you made $175 million in the game of baseball, there's something left.
There's enough left to where the rest of your life is going, and your kids' lives will be.
Yeah. You don't have to want for a job.
Right.
Felix isn't going to have to be a greeter in Las Vegas at a casino.
Those days are long, usually pretty much long gone for the greats, and that's good.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
For the most part, those guys have been well taken care of, and most of those guys have at least a little bit of money.
Right. Let's hope Felix does, too. It has enough to where he can drive his red Lamborghini around Miami, and people will know, hey, there goes Felix. He was one of the greats. Instead of having an 8-year-old kid walk up and shake the hand and say, oh, this is Joe Louis.
Yeah.
He's the greatest boxer of all time. Say hello to Mr. Lewis. Who's he?
That happened to you?
It could have.
Wow. I just,
I don't remember it, but I was told it.
Yeah, I read that article. Okay, you know what? For the last 4 years, and Felix has not been good, 3.5 years he's not been good, it's like, I felt like, all right, Felix, you did this to yourself. You didn't show up in camp in shape.
Yeah.
When you got past the age of 30, you didn't prepare yourself like you should be preparing yourself. You just, as Vince said, his God-given talent, he would just show up and throw the fastball by you and curveball away from you, and he would beat you. Or at least he wouldn't give up any runs, and then the Mariner bullpen would blow the lead, and they wouldn't get any runs. And but he was as dominant a pitcher as there was in the game of baseball. When he got to a point where he couldn't just do that anymore, he just said, "Screw that. This is what I'm doing."
I do believe he changed a little bit as a pitcher, which it's good for that he did. I mean, he started throwing more changeups and trying to be a little bit different that way. But you're right. He's never been in the greatest physical shape. I'm worried. What I'm worried about is he finishes this year. They cut him loose. He signs with, let's just say Atlanta. No, that's not good. Miami.
Okay.
Let's say Miami.
Yeah.
And he spends 4 or 5 months in the offseason ticked off about the Mariners situation, and he uses that to motivate himself and shows up at camp next year in the best shape of his life and wins 14 games for a cruddy team. And it could have been a difference for the Mariners next year as they try to take a step.
Okay, if he does that, then I'm really going to be pissed off at him, okay? Because I'm not very happy with him now for you know what? Show up in shape. You know, the season ended in October. I'll give you a month off. November 1st, November, December, January, mid-February. You got 3.5 months to get yourself in shape.
It's not like you can't afford a personal trainer.
Or 6.
Yeah.
Or you know what?
A nutritionist, a personal trainer.
If you would have gone to the Mariners and say, "Hey, I need a personal trainer. Can you help me out with that?"
Yeah.
They would have flown 14 guys to his house.
Yeah, but Jerry DiPoto probably would have picked one that would end up suing him.
He would have picked a trainer that he picked up because somebody else DFA'd him, designated him for a side. You know what? I have not felt bad for Felix until I read this article.
Yeah.
And now I'm concerned about him.
Yeah. Well, think about yourself. Put yourself in Felix's shoes. You've been a baseball pitcher your whole life, pretty much, as long as you've been alive. You started in the major leagues when he was 18, right?
19.
Yeah. So your whole adult life, you've done one thing, and you've done it really well. It's not like you've done it and it's you're not all that good at it. You've been really good at it, and it's not just one thing. It's a very fun thing to do. I mean, it's being on a major league team in a clubhouse when you're pitching every 5th day is a fun job. It's just really fun, and they pay you well, and everything's done for you. You don't have to do anything yourself. You don't have to pick your bags up. You don't have to worry about food. Everything's done for you. And then all of a sudden, people are telling you can't do it anymore. And you're only 33. You see some old guy wandering, out of the in the tunnel behind the thing that's just worked, 8 hours as an usher or something. You're thinking, I don't want to be that guy. I like my job. I want to keep doing it for a while longer. It's a tough thing to break from.
Yeah, I read that story today and I feel really bad for him where he's at right now, because he's staring. Unless he's not a realist, Vince, he has to be thinking to himself at some point, the drive home, laying in bed before he goes to sleep, when he wakes up in the morning, I'm never throwing another pitch in the majors again. That's the whole gist of what I got from this article.
Well, I think he does think about that.
All right, we're going to take a time out. Today, we've got a whole bunch of great guests coming up. Had a chance to go out. It was the first round of 2 at the Community Cancer Fund of the golf tournament at the Coeur d'Alene Resort Golf Course. You're going to hear from Jermaine Dye, the former Major League Baseball player. Guy Carbonneau, one of the best defensive forwards in the history of hockey, who's going into the Hockey Hall of Fame this year. John Cooper, the head coach of the Tampa Bay Lightning, who had an unbelievable regular season. You're going to hear from all of those guys, plus the great one, Wayne Gretzky. They're all playing golf this weekend as part of the showcase event at the Coeur d'Alene. But we come back. Former Spokane Chief Ray Whitney will join us. We'll hear from him coming up. He's back in our area playing at the Community Cancer Fund event, the former Spokane Chief. And we'll talk to Ray. We'll hear from Ray coming up next. It's Patchin and Lukens of the Frostbrewed Coors Light Studio, 700 ESPN, 105.3 FM.
2019 Spokane International RV Show has arrived. The latest and greatest selection of all the hottest new RVs. Class A, B, and C motorhomes to the most luxurious diesel pushers rolling the open roads. Ultra-light SUV towable lightweight trailers to triple slide living luxury trailers and fifth wheels. All the #1 selling brands centrally located at the Spokane Arena. Tiffin and Newmar, Jayco and Winnebago, Forest River, Thor, and more. Manufacturers competing head-to-head with the largest rebates and factory incentives of the year. Brand new 2020 model travel trailers starting at just $119 a month. Fifth wheels starting at just $229 a month. And brand new motorhomes starting at just $395 a month. It's the Spokane International RV Show. This Friday, Saturday, and Sunday only at the Spokane Arena. Free parking and admission. We'll see you at the 2019 Spokane International RV Show.
Come on, relax with us on a summer night. Indians baseball makes you feel just right. We're here to have fun, and that's what we're gonna do.
Tonight, Saturday, and Sunday, your Spokane Indians are back home at Avista Stadium. It's a big weekend with fireworks tonight and Saturday night.
Back to the left field wall, going, and it's gone for a home run.
Your first half division champion Spokane Indians host the Vancouver Canadians tonight, Saturday, and Sunday at Avista Stadium. Right after the game, both tonight and Saturday, we'll have huge fireworks shows presented by your local Toyota dealers. This Sunday 5:09 start is Hawaiian and Harley Day presented by Lone Wolf Harley Davidson. The annual pregame Ride the Bases motorcycle ride presented by U.S. Linen and Uniform. More info at SpokaneIndians.com. For tickets, go to ticketswest.com or call 343-AUTO. That's 343-6886.
Going, it is gone.
It's a home run.
Fireworks tonight and Saturday. As always, plenty of free parking.
July is a great month, right in the heart of summer, and of course, we have the big holiday. All month long, it's National Carpet Cleaning Month. This is Rick Lukens. That's a big deal for Zero Res because carpet cleaning is what they do better than anyone else. Listen, I've been through it firsthand in the Lukens home, and we've had a chance to compare Zero Res to other carpet cleaners. There's simply no comparison. They put the right people in your home. They go out of their way to do it right, always wearing foot covers, putting up corner guards. I've watched them attack stubborn stains like a personal vendetta. And when they clean, the carpet stays clean longer than anyone else we've used. Going on 2 decades, Zero Res is the best value in carpet cleaning because they do the job right. Just $44 a room for carpet cleaning, and it usually lasts us over a year. And you can get 2 air vents cleaned free right now when you book a whole home air duct cleaning. Minimums apply, but be sure to mention Rick Lukens when you call 92 Clean. Call 92 Clean or book online at ZeroResSpokane.com. Zero Res carpets and air ducts, the right way to clean.
The Seattle Seahawk training camp is underway. I'm Dennis Patchin with his Coors Light, 700 ESPN, 105.3 FM Spokane Sports Center. Seahawks held their first full team workout on Thursday, but it was a short one. Bobby Wagner was on the field, but just like OTAs, he did not participate in any drills. The Seahawks' first preseason game is at home August 8th against Denver. The Mariner bats exploded for a 10-2 win over Detroit last night. Tim Beckham hit a grand slam. Daniel Vogelbach had 3 RBI. The Tigers, with the worst record in baseball, on pace to lose 112 games. Same 2 teams tonight at T-Mobile at 7:10. For the second time in 3 games in a series against Tri-Cities, the Spokane Indians scored 10 runs in an inning. 14-2 winners at Tri-City last night. The Indians got those 10 runs in the second. Blaine Krim had 5 hits. Indians back home tonight against Vancouver at 6:30. This 700 ESPN, 105.3 FM Spokane Sports Center is brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light, Spokane's most refreshing beer.
Sign up for the Field Pass for your chance to win great prizes at 700ESPN.com.
700 ESPN, 105.3 FM. It's Patchin and Lukens here in the Frost Brewed Coors Light studio. Vince Grippi filling in for Rick Lukens on vacation today. Rick will be back with us coming up on Monday's show. Steve will be back Monday as well. Thanks to Mark for filling in all this week. He and Sam doing a great job for us. We appreciate when guys are able to step in and help us out. Community Cancer Fund, their big fundraisers going on this weekend at the Coeur d'Alene Resort Golf Course, and one of those things is the showcase. And don't forget, you can go to the showcase tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, it starts at the Coeur d'Alene Resort. Just celebrities galore. Marcus Allen, Marshall Faulk, Eric Dickerson. Okay, that's like running back royalty in the National Football League.
I was going to say Barry Switzer would love that lineup behind the wishbone, huh?
You think? Yeah. The greatest hockey player ever is playing this weekend in Wayne Gretzky. They're just all kind. Roger Clemens is playing there, 7-time Cy Young Award winner. It's just, I mean, all kinds of Hall of Fame type athletes are playing out there this weekend. And Ray Whitney, the former Spokane Chief, who actually won the event last year. He was the showcase winner last year. Beat Brendan Morrow, another hockey player. We had a chance to catch up with Ray, the former Spokane Chief, the only Chief to have his number retired up in the rafters. And we had a chance to talk with him a little bit earlier this morning before he teed off for his first round at the Community Cancer Fund event. Ray, obviously coming back here, you live here in the summertime, but obviously coming back here, this event must mean something to you.
It does. I got to know Ryan Gee and Fritz Wolf a little bit, and the impact that they're having on the community and what they're doing against cancer is the reason we're here, obviously, but the event that they put on is second to none, including the Tahoe event that the celebrities play. And I think they've done a great job, and like you said, it's easy for me to get across the lake here, and it's a great time to spend the summer here.
There's guys like you, guys like Tyler Johnson, Adam Morrison, who kind of grew up here. I know you weren't born here, but you did grow up here. You came as a 16-year-old, played a couple of years. Does this mean a little more to you because it's so close? I'm going to use air quotes here, home.
yeah, it is. It's always been home. 3 years here with the Chiefs, and obviously a Memorial Cup in '91 was very special. So it's always a special place here. And I got to know Bobby Brett fairly well over the years, and I see him in Arizona as well. So this is my second home, and now I don't go back to Canada a whole lot. I'd say this is where I'm going to be. And my son now, who's 14, he'll be 15. I think he's going to be going to this Chiefs camp this year. So it's amazing how it just kind of all comes around full circle.
Well, Villar Burre's boys went to the Chiefs camp once, but so I mean, we're starting to get old, aren't we?
Yeah, that's unfortunate. It's great for your kids, but it just means you are getting old. Yeah.
How's your golf game? You're the defending champion. You got any pressure on you here today?
Well, they brought in a couple ringers, some baseball ringers this year, so I'm not sure. The game's okay, but Mark Mulder, I know him from Arizona. He'll be all I can handle for sure.
Thanks for the time. Congratulations on a great career here in Spokane, and enjoy the day, enjoy the week.
Thanks, Dennis. Always great to see you again.
Ray Whitney, the Wizard, was his nickname. Played over 1,000 games in the National Hockey League. Won a Stanley Cup champion as well.
I just remember how well he played that Memorial Cup run. He had like 30 points or something.
He was ridiculous.
Yeah.
That team would beat you any way you wanted to. You want to try to outskate us? We're going to do that. You want to out-hit us? We're going to out-hit you. You want to out-fight us? We're going to out-fight you. Yeah, it was good. And just in case you didn't know, he's a really good golfer.
Well, Mark Mulder is
Mulder.
exceptional.
Yeah, Mark Mulder heard about this tournament and said, "I got to get in." He's a 3-time champion
of the celebrity
thing, and the hockey players have dominated this. We'll see what Mark Mulder
does.
Plus,
pitchers, it's unfair, especially starting pitchers, because their whole career they get to play golf.
Well, Maddox and Glavin and Smoltz
would play all the time.
They would play all the time, depending on who was pitching.
We used to have a song we used to sing that was set to the Pirates of the Caribbean thing about yo ho, pitcher's life for me. And it really had to do with golf because they played constantly. And so that's not fair. I mean, Ray Whitney actually had a real job. Playing in the National Hockey League is a real job.
Well, you're going to hear from Jermaine Dye, who's here for the first time and can play a little bit as well. And I asked him the question, are the baseball guys going to finally win this thing? And his excuse was, well, the hockey guys, their real job is kind of like hitting a golf ball.
BS.
Well, Okay, I'm just telling you what Jermaine Dye said. Okay?
Right. Built-in excuse there, Jermaine. That's why the Royals didn't win when you played for them.
Wow, don't do that. Don't do that. All right. We got a couple of texts up there, and it's the showcase event again tomorrow. Tees off at the Coeur d'Alene Resort tomorrow morning. Great golfers, great event. Just $20 are the tickets. You can go to showcasegolf.com for more information. Stan says, seriously, you feel sorry for Felix? He made millions working every fifth day for 6 months a year playing a game. Come on. Feel sorry for the plumber, the logger, the nurse, the ditch digger, the carpenter who works hard every day for a small fraction of what he's making. Stan, I defy you to read that story from Ryan Divish and not feel sorry for Felix Hernandez. Now, I don't feel sorry for him financially.
Right.
I feel sorry for him mentally. Yeah, I had empathy for Felix Hernandez for the first time ever in reading that story.
Wow. Ryan deserves a Pulitzer then.
I thought it was really well written.
Yeah.
I thought it was really well written. Pat says, guys, Felix doesn't want to embrace change like Jamie Moyer, or he would have been still pitching for another team because DePoto would have traded him too. Jamie Moyer never embraced change.
He was always
that way, Pat. He never had a fastball.
Yeah, he never could throw a ball through a pane of glass.
No.
You know,
slowest. Yeah. That was Jamie Moyer.
It was not like Frank Tanana. Now, if you want to go back and look at Frank Tanana,
absolutely,
guy threw 95 miles an hour as a youngster, hurt his arm, and ended up having the biggest curveball in the history of baseball, throwing about 82 at the end of his career.
He's the guy that I point to as the one pitcher that I know that was a fireball, and that was taken completely away from him. He had to reinvent himself. I mean, Greg Maddux was always Greg Maddux.
Yep. So was Glavine.
Yeah. Sandy Koufax was always Sandy Koufax. He didn't know where it was going early on in his career, much like Randy Johnson. Randy Johnson never lost Mr. Snappy or whatever the fastball was.
Well, no, that was a slider.
That was a slider. He never lost that either.
No. When he did, he was done.
Frank Tanana, Steve Carlton lost his.
Yeah, Steve Carlton did the same
a little bit, but not like Frank Tanana did.
No. I mean, yeah.
All right. I felt bad. I felt bad for Felix the person.
Yeah, because it doesn't matter what you do in your living. You know, yeah, there's a whole different pay scale involved with being a major league player. I get that. I do. But when you do something that you love and it's taken away from you, I don't care whether, you know, if you're a surgeon and you lose your fingers, you can't hold a scalpel the same way. It's something you loved. It's something that made you fulfilled you as a human being, and you lose that, it changes who you are.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't care who it is. You know, if it turned out I couldn't type tomorrow and I couldn't write anymore because my fingers had such bad arthritis and I couldn't pound, I would, and even at my age, I'd be depressed about it. It's something I love to do.
I got a piece of advice a long time ago that said, don't let your job define who you are. Okay? And I've always remembered that. Felix Hernandez, his job defines who he is. And right now, he's at a crossroads where he doesn't know who he is anymore.
Right. Yeah, he probably doesn't.
Mike says, anytime you lose something you're passionate about, it hurts.
Yep.
Amen to that. Amen to that, Mike. The Mariners make some more roster moves. Of course they did. We'll talk about those coming. Yeah, you're not going to believe this. We'll talk about that next. It's Patchin and Lukens here in the Frostburg Coors Light Studio, 700 ESPN, 105.3 FM.
Hi, this is Bernie from Thrifty Car Sales. Why have to work at getting a bargain? There's nothing hard about getting a good price on a car you want at Thrifty Car Sales. We'll help you find the right car, we'll take your trade-ins, and we'll work with you on financing. At Thrifty, we have a large variety of low-mileage cars, vans, SUVs, and trucks to choose from. Our vehicles are well-maintained with our Thrifty Certified program and have a limited warranty. Our sales professionals have many repeat customers, and will help you with no pressure and no hassles. Thrifty stands behind their vehicles and has been locally owned for over 30 years. Thrifty's a name you can trust. Great wheels at great deals. Come see for yourself. Stop by Thrifty Car Sales on North Wall, East Sprague, in the Valley, and our new Thrifty Car Rental and Car Sales location in Coeur d'Alene. Or shop 24 hours per day at thriftyspokane.com.
Why pay more? Be smart, buy thrifty. Why pay more?
Brock and Salk, weekday morning 7 to 10.
You know, I shot off a nice little tweet about you that, you know, you called this, you knew this, you didn't waver.
Nice
and,
of you.
and then I had a bunch of people tweet me back like, he did waver. He called him A-Rod today. I couldn't believe it.
For the record, for those people, I've been calling him A-Rod for 7 years.
He did waver. How dare you? He did waver.
Brock and Salk, weekday mornings on 700 ESPN 105.3 FM.
It's not always convenient to focus on your health. That's why Dr. Philip Fowler, founder of Anti-Aging Northwest, has tailored the patient experience to be simple and stress-free. Schedule your appointment online, and the physician of your choice will call or video chat with you at a time that works best for your schedule. At Anti-Aging Northwest, they're committed to improving your quality of life. Visit antiagingnorthwest.com to schedule your free consultation today and receive a $75 gift card. Anti-Aging Northwest, where the art of healing meets the science of medicine.
This month, Northern Quest is giving away four 4x4 Ford Ford. Okay, let's just try this instead. Don't miss the $250,000 Fords of July giveaway at Northern Quest, with more than 3 but less than 5 Ford Ranger 4x4s up for grabs. Get one free entry daily. Play for even more. Details at northernquest.com.
The Pepsi Outdoor Summer Concerts at Northern Quest are heating up. Styx with Loverboy, August 22nd. Weird Al Yankovic, August 18th. Sammy Hagar and the Circle, August 24th. See the full lineup and get seats at northernquest.com.
The Coeur d'Alene Tribe and Casino invite you to July-Umsh, July 26th through 28th at Kootenai County Fairgrounds. More info at julyamsh.com.
Tweeting daily, sometimes more than once. Patchin and Lukens on Twitter at 700ESPN.
700 ESPN, 105.3 FM. It's Patchin and Lukens here in the Frost Brewed Coors Light studio. You're going to hear from Jermaine Nye coming up in about 15 minutes here. The Mariners made a couple of roster moves today. Tim Lopes, who the Mariners, I got to believe when they signed him at the beginning of the year, never thought he would play a day at the major league level. He made his major league debut 2 days ago. He got hit in the head in the bottom of the fourth inning last night. Played a couple more innings and then got taken out of the game. The Mariners have placed him on the 7-day concussion list. So he's unavailable, and that is a relatively new thing. What is it? Is it 2 years now or 3 years now that they've been doing that? It's different than the injury list. You go on the 7-day concussion list, and you can be placed on that, and it allows you to bring up another player. It's not the injury list, right. Certainly. So they had to bring up another infielder. I mean, they're already down D. Gordon. Now they're down Tim Lopes, who was a backup for him. They brought up a guy by the name of Ryan Court. Okay, and before you say, does he factor into the future? No, he's 31 years old.
Yeah.
Okay? He's never played a major league game. He started his season this year with Sugarland, not the band.
Texas?
The Independent Atlantic League, the league with the electronic umpires.
Cool.
The league that's experimenting with all kinds of stuff. That's where he started. He signed a minor league contract with the Mariners on May 6th because they needed bodies at the AAA level. He was hitting 279 at the time of his recall, and he is now on the 25-man roster. This is a guy who was playing independent baseball as early as 2015. He spent 4 years in the Diamondback organization, and they said, "We're good." I hope he gets to play a major league game.
Well, Lopes was already. I mean, here's a guy the Mariners drafted out of high school.
Yeah.
Actually traded away.
Correct, as the player to be named later.
Yeah, for the pitcher that could pitch with both arms.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
could trade it for a novelty act.
Got cut, and then they picked him up at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
But when he got hit last night, and the trainer came out, he talked his way and stay in the ballgame. You just thought maybe it was a concussion. That was very much a possibility he got hit that hard. And all I could think of was it was sort of a Moonlight Graham situation, because here was a guy, he finally got his chance in the big leagues, and he had an at bat. He got one at bat.
He's had one at bat.
Yeah.
He has 3 plate appearances. He got a walk and a hit batter.
And he's got 2 runs scored.
And a stolen base.
So he may end up, if he never plays again, which could happen.
It could, yes. It very well could happen. D. Gordon could be back before he's eligible to come back.
The question is, then, has anybody ever played in the major leagues and scored more runs than they had at bat?
Herb Washington, the pinch runner with the Oakland Athletics?
Maybe. Yeah, you might be right. But it hit me. I thought maybe Tim Lopes went up to the plate and winked at the pitcher, and the guy hit him in the head.
Well, you know what it does do? He gets 7 more days of major league money.
He does, which will help him.
If he never plays another game, Tim Lopes' stat line: batting average 0.0, slugging percentage 0.0, on base percentage 667.
That's not bad. So his OPS isn't really bad.
No.
It's still 667.
It's still 667.
Yeah.
To make room for Ryan Court on the 40-man roster, the Mariners put Ryan Healy on the 60-day injured list.
Oh, he's still with the team?
Yeah, he's still with the team.
Wow.
He may not play again this year. He may not play again ever.
I thought maybe he and Haniger were like in Baja fishing or something.
No.
We're taking a step back. You guys just go. You guys just go enjoy yourself for the rest of the summer.
I don't think Ryan Healy plays another game this year.
Wow. I hadn't even thought about him in a while.
Yeah.
Boy.
So Ryan Court is a Seattle Mariner. And if you said, "Who the heck is that?"
Yeah.
Don't feel bad.
Yeah. His nickname's
Half Court?
Yeah. I don't think it'd be full.
Wow. Okay. He's a Mariner now. He'll be in the he's eligible to play tonight.
If I was 40 years younger, I'd go over there with my glove and say, "I can play."
You play? Yeah, I can sit on the bench.
I'll take one in the head. I won't get a concussion, I promise. There's nothing going to happen.
Did you see what happened in the Oriole Angel game last night? They had to use a outfielder. They had used 9 pitchers in the game in the 16th inning. They had to bring an outfielder in. He got the save. He's the first position player to ever get a save.
Wow.
In Major League Baseball. His fastball topped out at 58 miles an hour. Steve Wilkerson.
58 so it really wasn't a fastball. His straight ball topped out at 58 miles an hour.
Somebody asked him what happened. How come they couldn't hit it? He goes, "It's slower than batting practice.
Yeah.
They could never time it up." He pitched a 1-2-3 16th inning. He's the first position player to ever earn a save. He's the first player in Major League Baseball history to start a game and earn a save. Because no starting pitcher can do that.
Right. Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
That record may never be, he may never equal that with anybody else.
Yeah, you might be right, but boy, I'll tell you what, that's great. That's going to be if anybody still plays trivia anymore, someday that'll be there.
Yeah, he was their starting center fielder last night, and they flat ran out of guys.
Just to let you know how much baseball has changed, okay? I was sort of a Tim Lopes type of guy in college, so I got an at-bat one time in a game, and I was so happy we were probably losing by 16 or winning by 16, one of the two. I got hit in the head, knocked out. And the trainer came out, the trainer who also his real job was as one of the tour guides on this the boat ride at Disneyland. Because when he would tape you, you'd have to listen to him working on his spiel.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, no, that's the truth. Yeah, I swear to God. He comes running out, he pulls into his little pouch he had. He pulled out one of those little packets, smelling salts, and popped it, or nitrate or whatever.
Yeah.
Popped it underneath. Boom! I woke up. It's like, are you okay? Yeah. I want to play. So, okay, you're good. Gets me up. Down to first base. I'm not coming out. I'm going to get to catch the next inning. I don't remember the rest of the game, but I do know I did not come out because back then nobody really cared.
Well, I don't know if you got knocked out and you were awake, you got to play. When I was 11. I was playing in the 11-12 league, okay? And I got ran over by a guy that was probably 200 pounds.
He drove to the game.
He might have. Yeah. He might have picked up all the kids in the neighborhood and got him in the game. This dude was big. And I caught the ball at home plate, and he was 3 steps from being out. I mean, he was 3 steps away, and on the next thing I remember is my eyes awoke, and I saw my dad's face looking down on me. Because the rule was, with my dad, and the rule passed down with me, moms don't get to go on the field, okay? Dads can go there because they'll walk down, they'll be calm. Yeah. Moms have to sit in the stands because if they go out of the field, they might go crazy.
She would have woken you up with her tears.
She might have, yes.
Yeah.
So, and I just remember him saying, "Are you all right?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm fine."
Did I hold on the ball?
Yeah, that's it. That was the first question. Did I hold on to the ball? He said, "Yes, you did." So the coach goes, "Well, you're going to have to come out of the game." And I go, "I don't want to come out of the game." And he goes, "All right, how about you go play first base because that's where our backup catcher was." So I finished the game at first base. I got knocked out.
I know the feeling.
At least my coach said, "You can't catch anymore. You got to go play first base." Your guy said, "It's grippy. Put him back in there."
You know what? What the hey? It's the way. It's a good excuse for the way we are.
We old people have an excuse for not remembering stuff. We played where it was concussions and you just stayed in the game.
It's never bothered me at all, Rick. Not one bit.
I did that yesterday too many times. All right, we're going to take a timeout. You can text this 315-7833, 315-7833. You hear from Jermaine Dye coming up next. Plus, we'll tell you how you can qualify for the Patchin and Lukens Golf Tournament, 700 ESPN, 105.3 FM.
Your local forecast brought to you by Wendell Ford, Wendell Nissan, and Wendell Pre-Owned. Over 500 vehicles in one location.
Do good, feel good. That's the Ed Servio way.
Greater Spokane County Meals on Wheels provides home-delivered meals to homebound elderly and people with disabilities. They also provide meals at 12 senior dining locations in Spokane County. Residential Home Solutions invites you to learn how you can help fight senior hunger by visiting gscmealsonwheels.org.
This message is brought to you by Ed Servio with support from Global Credit Union, Residential Home Solutions, and Zero Res.
Your local forecast brought to you by Wendell at the Y, online at wendell.com.
Honey, it feels like a sauna in here.
We gotta call Dr. Andy.
Did someone page Dr. Andy? Ma'am, you may need an AC tune-up.
Don't let this happen to you. Page one of our highly trained Sturm technicians today for your $99 AC tune-up special. Beat the heat and call Sturm today at 325-4505 and stay cool this summer. For more than 70 years, Sturm Heating and Air Conditioning has been the leader in the Inland Northwest for all your HVAC needs. Sturm Heating and Air Conditioning, your one-stop service shop. Contact us today.
If a Nissan Rogue or Rogue Sport is on your list, make sure you visit Wendell Nissan. And right now, we have over 100 Nissan Rogues and Rogue Sports to choose from. The best selection in the entire area. And for a limited time, get a 2019 Nissan Rogue with 0.9% APR financing for 60 months, plus up to $3,000 factory customer cash. The Nissan Rogue is some of our hottest sellers, and we have the best selection. Come see us at Wendell Nissan, at the Y, or online at wendell.com.
2019 Rogue, 0.9% APR financing for up to 60 months, and $2,000 NMAC cash for well-qualified buyers, or $2,500 factory cash back, subject to residency restrictions. Financing is subject to NMAC Tier 1 through Tier 2 credit approval. $1,705 per month per thousand financed at 0.9% for 60 months. NMAC cash available when you finance through NMAC and is subject to credit approval. Down payment may be required. Factory cash back when you purchase from new dealer stock. A negotiable $150 documentation fee may be added to the sale. See dealer for details. Offer ends 7/31/2019.
If a Nissan Rogue or Rogue Sport is on your list, make sure you visit Wendell Nissan. Wendell at the Y or online at wendell.com.
Disturbed, the Evolution Tour.
Get up, come on, get down with the sickness.
July 31st.
Are you ready?
Spokane Arena.
Get up, get up.
New album, Evolution, out now. Special guest. In this moment, Rock 94.5 presents Disturbed live. Tickets are on sale now at ticketswest.com and the Spokane Arena box office.
Kalen Trenchless helps fix water, gas, and utility lines using directional drilling, repairing, or installing new lines in just one day. Visit KalenTrenchless.com.
The Seattle Seahawks season is underway. I'm Dennis Patchin with his Coors Light, 700 ESPN, 105.3 FM Spokane Sports Center. Pete Carroll and 90 players on the field Thursday for the first full team workout. Bobby Wagner was there as well, but didn't participate in any of the drills. He was off limits to the media, but KJ Wright did tell reporters something is going to get done quick regarding Wagner's contract. The Mariners have won back-to-back games for the first time in a month thanks to last night's 10-2 win over Detroit. Daniel Vogelbach knocked in 3 runs. Tim Beckham added a grand slam. Wade LeBlanc picked up the win. In 9 games where the Mariners have used an opener with LeBlanc, he's 4-0 with a 2.86 ERA. Mariners the Tigers again tonight at T-Mobile at 7:10. For the second time in 3 games, the Spokane Indians scored 10 runs in a win, beat Tri-City last night 14-4. Indians back home hosting Vancouver at 6:30. The 700 ESPN 105.3 FM Spokane Sports Center is brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light, Spokane's most refreshing beer.
Email the show. Tell Patchin and Lukens what you think. The email address is areyoukkiddingme@700ESPN.com.
700 ESPN 105.3 FM. Patchin and Lukens here in the Frost Brewed Coors Light studio. Thanks for being with us. Vince Grippi filling in today for the vacationing Rick Lukens. Mark also running the show today. We'll have Buy or Sell coming up. Steve the Wingman on vacation as well. Both those guys will be back on Monday's show. Thanks for being here, Vince. Always a pleasure to have you here.
Steve didn't email in a buy or sell for Friday?
No, we did not.
What
I kind
slacker.
I kind of did my twisted version of a buy or sell, so we're all over the map.
Okay.
There's only 2 sports questions in here, so the other 3 are kind of food/movie/heat related.
Okay, then.
So there you go. The Community Cancer Fund is this weekend, their big showcase event. The celebrities, and you can go see them play tomorrow at the Coeur d'Alene Resort Golf Course. Tees off, I think it's at 10 o'clock. I'll double check that.
Later than some Pac-12 games.
They're not going to do that this year, are they?
Could.
Seriously?
Yeah, because remember, they only set times 2 weeks in advance for certain games.
Wow.
And if Fox has a game and they want to do it, I think the Pac-12 is going to say yes.
Wow. Okay. All right. So that tees off tomorrow morning, the Community Cancer Fund Showcase event. And a lot of stars here, and many of them back for a second time. Marshall Faulk is here for the first time, the Hall of Famer. Jermaine Dye, who was a really good player in his day. and many considered a borderline Hall of Fame candidate.
Looking at his stats just now, I can understand why you'd say that.
Yeah. He's here for the very first time, and had a chance to visit with him earlier today on the practice tee before he played his first 18 holes. Actually, technically not his first 18 holes, but the first 18 holes as part of the Community Cancer Fund event. Jermaine Dye. All right. So do we have our Jermaine Dye interview? If we can play that.
Jermaine, obviously this is your first trip here, so the question is, what do you think of Coeur d'Alene and the course?
Oh man, it's a beautiful part of the country. Had a good time so far. I've been here since Wednesday. Got a chance to do some boating. Played this course here at Coeur d'Alene. Awesome course, great time. Played Geyser, played Black Rock. So, I had no idea, this part of the country was like this, and I feel like I was telling my wife last night that, hey, we got to bring the kids up here and come out here and enjoy this beautiful lake.
I'm going to tell you, if they bring you in, they swear you to secrecy. You can tell your family, but you can't tell anybody else.
That's what I hear. A lot of the locals, we went over to Hudson's and had a burger yesterday for lunch, and they go, listen now, you can't go back talking about Coeur d'Alene. We don't want it too busy out here, so hey, the secret is safe with me.
Obviously, what they've been able to do in raising all the money for the fight against cancer obviously is foremost in this. It obviously means something for you too as well, because you're here supporting the event and playing.
Definitely. I mean, it's fun to come out here and be surrounded by some great people, but there is the one mission of raising money and supporting a great cause in the fight against cancer. No matter who you are, I'm sure you know somebody that has cancer or dealt with it in some way, and what a way to come out and put together a great event like this, and hopefully this event is going to be around for a long time and gets bigger and bigger every year.
Let's talk a little bit about the hockey players have kind of dominated this and won this the last few years. The baseball guys got something for them. I know Mark Mulder's here, you're here, Fred McGriff's got a pretty good game. Can you beat the hockey guys?
Well, you know what? It's tough. Anything can happen on any given day. Those hockey guys, their swing's geared for what they did as a sport, with the hockey stick. So, but we got some guys out here that definitely can compete. As you know, it's about making putts. So hopefully I can get the rock rolling today and put up a nice score.
How's your game right now?
I'm playing pretty good. You just never know. I mean, every day's different, but I played this the other day, had a good round, and looking forward to it.
Thanks for the time and enjoy your stay here.
All right, thank you.
Jermaine Dye, he says the same, that when you come to Coeur d'Alene for the first time and you know nothing about them, that area, and you stand on that golf course and you look out at that lake, or you spend some time like he said. He said he went down to Hudson's to have a hamburger and do all the things you do the first time you go to Coeur d'Alene if you've never been there before. Everyone says the same thing. I never knew this place was so nice. And that's why the people in Coeur d'Alene go, hey, that's fine. Tell your family, but don't tell anybody else. We don't want any more people up here. It's stunning what that view is like standing there as you're looking out south over the lake.
It hit my wife and I in August of 1982. We came through from Missoula, across through the Silver Valley, and stopped in Coeur d'Alene at the city park. Back when it was, there was no hotel there.
No,
you could see the lake from the city park. They were playing softball. In the softball fields, there's a baseball game going at the Legion Field there. I looked there and said, we need to live here. I never even got to Spokane. And then because why? Why do you need to look at Spokane?
It's a pretty special place.
Yep.
Jermaine Dye. Tomorrow, the event tees off at 8, starting a little bit earlier than they have in the past. There is no on-site parking at the Coeur d'Alene Resort Golf Course, so they're going to ask you that you park at North Idaho College, and they'll shuttle you free over to the event.
They have a nice little map on their website.
Yeah, it is. ShowcaseGolf.com. ShowcaseGolf.com. We'll hear from more players, including the great one, Wayne Gretzky, coming up. Just a reminder, you can tee it up in the Patchin and Lukens Golf Tournament. You got to go to the Field Pass at 700ESPN.com. You know what? Let's just give you the word of the day, too, while we're at it. The word of the day today is wingman. Wingman is the word of the day. He's not here today, so we gave you that. The word of the day is wingman. That's 50,000 bonus points. If you haven't answered the question this week, you have a couple of more days. We draw another winner every Monday. Here's the deal. Answer the question on the Field Pass, and you'll get 10,000 bonus points even if that answer is wrong. If it's a wrong answer, 10,000. If it's a right answer, 10,000. But if you get the answer correct, then you're entered in the weekly drawing to play in the Patchin and Lukens Golf Tournament. And if you're one of the fortunate people that are selected to play from our weekly winners, then you choose a teammate. And on September 20th, you and your teammate, and it's your choice. It can be the best golfer you know. It can be whoever you want. You'll show up, play a two-man scramble, and whoever has the best score after the 18 holes will win the Patchin and Lukens Golf Tournament. They will also receive the Patchin and Lukens trophy. They'll each member of the winning team, each of the two will receive a night's hotel stay at the Coeur d'Alene Casino Resort Hotel. Each one of the two members of the winning team will receive another round of golf at the Circling Raven Golf Club. We play it on September 20th. We qualify somebody every Monday. Your chance to qualify by answering the question is at 700ESPN.com on the Field Pass. It's the Field Pass, 700ESPN.com on our VIP club. That's the only place you're going to qualify for that. All right, we're going to take a time out. It's Patchin and Lukens here in the Frostbrew Coors Light studio. When we come back, it's buy or sell time. Oh, hold on a second. Maybe not. Let me check my schedule.
You better. You've got it written down.
No, Guy Carbonneau coming up. Hold on. We're not going to do buy or sell yet. Don't answer the phone, Mark, because we're not playing. Guy Carbonneau, another member who is playing of the field, who's playing out at the Community Cancer Fund event, the future Hockey Hall of Famer. He's going to be inducted this year, and a really good golfer, and one of maybe the best defensive forward to ever play in the National Hockey League.
And has the name Guy.
Guy.
Which is a great hockey name.
It is a great hockey name. We'll visit with him coming up next. It's Patchin and Lukens here in the Frostbrew Coors Light studio, 700 ESPN, 105.3 FM.
As a small business owner, when was the last time you considered switching internet providers?
I don't even remember. Running a business keeps me pretty busy.
Let's compare your current provider to Comcast Business. Are you getting fast, reliable internet?
Sometimes.
How about a full suite of innovative services like separate Wi-Fi networks, 4G wireless backup, and advanced voice solutions?
I highly doubt it.
Sounds like your provider doesn't compete. Make the switch to the nation's largest gig speed network now and get an amazing deal. Right now, get fast 25 megabit internet for $34.95 per month when you add one voice mobility line. Call 1-800-501-6000 today. Comcast Business. Beyond fast.
Offer ends 9/21/19. Restrictions apply. New business customers only. 2-year agreement required. Early termination fee applies. Equipment taxes and fees extra, subject to change. Backup limited to up to 8 hours. Total $59.90 bundled rate will be shown on bill for both products.
The 2019 Spokane International RV Show has arrived. The latest and greatest selection of all the hottest new RVs. Class A, B, and C motorhomes to the most luxurious diesel pushers rolling the open roads. Ultra-light SUV towable lightweight trailers to triple slide live-in luxury trailers and fifth wheels. All the #1 selling brands centrally located at the Spokane Arena. Tiffin and Newmar, Jayco and Winnebago, Forest River, Thor, and more. Manufacturers competing head-to-head with the largest rebates and factory incentives of the year. Brand new 2020 model travel trailers starting at just $119 a month. Fifth wheels starting at just $229 a month. And brand new motorhomes starting at just $395 a month. It's the Spokane International RV Show. This Friday, Saturday, and Sunday only at the Spokane Arena. Free parking and admission. We'll see you at the 2019 Spokane International RV Show.
The Coeur d'Alene Tribe and Casino invite you to July the largest outdoor powwow in the Northwest. A celebration with tribal dance competitions and dancers from across the U.S. and Canada, plus drum groups, arts and crafts, great food, and a lot more. Everyone is welcome, so come immerse yourself in the tradition and the fun of July Just $10 for adults, free for seniors and children. July 26th through 28th at Kootenai County Fairgrounds. More info at julyamsh.com.
Listen to Patchin and Lukens weekdays from 3 to 6.
It's a process.
Trust the process.
Listen.
700 ESPN and 105.3 FM. Can play buy or sell with Patchin and Lukens. Brought to you by Dynamic Decks, custom decks built right.
We'll do it later this hour. It's Patchin and Lukens here in the Frost Brewed Coors Light studio. Thanks for being with us. Vince Kripke filling in for Keith Oso, who's on vacation. It's boat race weekend in the Tri-City. Did you know that?
Yes, I did. I actually knew that.
If you've never been to that event before, now
bring earplugs.
Well, yes, but I'm just saying, if you've been to Seafair,
okay,
I'm counting either one of the two.
Okay,
you should go before the sport completely goes away.
The power of those boats is incredible.
Yeah, and it's nothing compared to the old days when the piston engine Allisons were running, and they used to run it out at Coeur d'Alene. On the Diamond Cup,
yeah.
And now it's the jet boats. It's the turbines, but it's an amazing event to see a boat go 200 miles an hour on the straightaway, or close to 200 miles an hour on the straightaway. You couldn't get me to do that. There's no chance, no way, no how.
Just my problem with it, and that's why I mentioned the earplugs, is the one time I gave in and went, my ears hurt. And I'm not a big loud noise person. I don't think I could ever really watch a Seahawk game anymore in the stands.
It is. I went 3 years ago, the last Seahawk game I went to in the stands.
Yeah.
I went to 3 games last year. I sat in the press box. The stands is really loud.
It's just incessant. And the noise, it just doesn't stop. And it's really hard. I know. You're looking at me like, well,
I'm not looking at you like that way.
It's going to be really quiet in about 20 years.
Yeah. No, I never thought that. Maybe some young people were thinking that.
Yeah.
No, I just, you know what? You have to ingest sports the best way it is for you now. And if that's sitting in front of your television set,
yeah.
I just say you need to take advantage of all the events that we have in our area at least once.
Yeah.
Go to a game at the Pine Bowl. Watch Whitworth football play one afternoon.
Is it St. John's where they have the boat races and the?
Yes, that
intrigues me.
The Webb Slough. Yes. Have you ever been to that?
No.
That's nuts. They're going like 70 miles an hour through a field with water that's in a ditch like 2 feet deep. It's crazy.
Sounds like it reminds me of when I used to drive the LA freeways in a rainstorm.
Yes. You weren't going that fast, and you weren't turning that quick. Okay, maybe you were, but you weren't turning on a dime. No, that's another one of those events I think you need to go see.
Here's something that I've always wanted to see that I never have. Cheney Rodeo.
I've been to there. I've been out to the Cheney Rodeo.
I've never been, I don't think, in town that weekend. It's the same weekend.
Oh, it's a basketball weekend,
Yes,
right?
it is, but also before that, when I was younger, I played softball all the time. It was always the softball tournament weekend out of town. Always. Every week, every year. I don't think I've been in town more than maybe 5 times over the course of over 30 years living in Spokane.
Have you ever been to Mule Days in Reardon?
No, have not. Haven't been out to Odessa for Oktoberfest either, though I've heard it's a lot of fun if you can remember it.
Yeah, that's the old commercial you won't remember at all. They were talking about Oktoberfest in Odessa. I've actually been because we always used to shoot the high school football games that day. That night on Friday night, so we'd always go early. Now, of course,
smart man.
We would go early on Friday when it
right.
So you got a flavor of it, but you didn't get the the crazy thing is, the one time I did shoot the high school game, and I got out of there faster than I normally was going to get. And I don't remember if I was not shooting another game, because usually we used to go and then go the back way to Ritzville and shoot the Ritzville game and come home. Or once Wilbur put lights in, then we would go there and come home. I think it was the only game I was shooting for some crazy reason that night. So I went down, our locator shot, our establishing shot at the beginning of the highlights was the Oompa Band in the beer garden. Okay, now I'm driving, I'm working, but between the time I got in, shot the band for the 6-second shot I need, and worked my way out talking to a few people, I had like 8 beers. I could have had 8 beers in less than 3 minutes.
Yeah.
But so it is. But it's one of those things that it's unique to our area, but then again, it's not unique to our area, because there are other little communities and wherever you might have lived before or may live in the future that are doing the same kind of things. It's kind of cool.
Yep.
It's kind of cool. All right. The showcase event is tomorrow. Today, the celebrities we're playing with sponsors of the Community Cancer Fund event in Coeur d'Alene, and one of those playing is going to be one of the newest Hockey Hall of Fame members, and that is Guy Carbonneau, the longtime 3-time Stanley Cup winner, 3-time Selke Trophy winner. That's given annually to the best defensive forward in the game, and he may be the best defensive forward to ever play in the National Hockey League. He's certainly in that conversation. He's a really good golfer, too. We talked to Guy Carbonneau a little bit earlier today before he teed it up at the showcase event.
Guy, obviously coming back here year after year, this event must mean something to you.
Well, it's always fun. I mean, I've been in Gaza for about 10 years now, and every summer it's always fun to kind of come back and meet the people that you met the year before, and this tournament creates that. I think they're doing really a good job bringing more celebrities every year and raising more money.
And the cause is almost second to none. I mean, cancer has touched everybody in the world.
Well, I mean, if everybody you talk, all your friends or your families, somebody gets hit with cancer at one point. So as much as we can help, it's good for the science.
You've been very competitive in the golf tournament. You've come close to winning this a couple of times. How's your game right now?
So and so. I think if putting is good, then I think I'll be doing fine.
You beat some of those young guys like Ray and your son-in-law.
We're like in the same category. So one day you beat them, one day you get beat. But we're all competitive a little bit, and like I said, I think. Just to be here with everybody, today's going to be a fun day. Play with some people that you never met, so make some good new friends.
Well, let me ask you, the first time you came here, and when you decided that you were going to buy some place at Gaza and make your summer life here, what did you think when you first came to the Coeur d'Alene, Spokane area?
Well, first thing I was like, wow, because you land in Spokane, and the drive from Spokane to go to Gaza Ranch is pretty amazing. Great views, the lake is awesome. The weather is, except a couple days here and there, most of the summer it's always good. So it's been everybody you talk to is it's just paradise in Idaho.
I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you about the Hockey Hall of Fame. That's got to be a big thing for you.
Yeah, it was a pretty nice surprise, and I think it's going to be a fun weekend. I think when you're a kid, you kind of work, play in the backyard, and hopefully making into the NHL. Being in Hall of Fame is not something you think about, but after your career, you kind of reflect a little bit on what you've done, and I thought I had a chance at one point, but I'm happy that it's done now.
Enjoy the weekend. Thanks for the time.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Guy Carbonneau joining us said 2 really key things. Getting together with his son-in-law is Brandon Morrow, longtime NHL player. So he and Ray Whitney and Guy play a lot, and he goes, "Yeah, we're kind of competitive." Okay, the understatement award there for Mr. Carbonneau. The other thing is, and if you think about this, nobody dreams when they're a kid playing a sport. Doesn't matter what sport you're playing. Baseball, basketball, football, hockey, tennis, golf, whatever. You never dream about being a Hall of Famer. You dream about getting there and playing at that level. And he got the call earlier this year saying you're going to go into the Hockey Hall of Fame, or he won 3 Stanley Cups. He's played a lot of games. He's a 3-time Selke winner. You start looking around, you go, look, you may not say this, but other people are telling you you got a chance to be in the Hall of Fame. That Hall of Fame thing never gets in until you're getting close to the end of your career or after your career is over. Because we all want to play at that level. And most of us never get close. And for those who get close, they've satisfied that dream. But the dream was never when you're 8 years old shooting baskets on your garage. If I make this shot, I'm going to go to the Hall of Fame. No, if I make this shot, I'm going to win a championship.
Right. Yeah, you're winning the title. That's what it is.
And then when you miss it, he was fouled.
He's got 1 and 1.
Well, when you and I were younger, it was 3 to make 2. You remember that?
Yeah, Wilt Chamberlain rule.
People will go, what? Yeah. If you got fouled in a situation, you had 3 shots to make 2.
Yep. It was when the team made the bonus, so you had your 2-shot fouls after whatever was 7 or whatever was in a quarter, and then you got 3 to make 2 on the shooting fouls.
Because you remember, the non-shooting foul was 1 shot.
Yeah, that's right. It was 1 shot.
Yeah, so if you got fouled, now if you get fouled before the bonus, you just get the ball out of bounds.
Right.
In the old days, if you got fouled before you reached whatever the bonus number was, it was 1 free throw, and then you were done.
Yep.
So when they got to the bonus at 3 to make 2, that was he's got 3 to make 2. All right. All right, it's time to play buy or sell now.
Okay.
Jump the gun. Sorry about that, Vince. I know it's your favorite part of the show, and I jumped the gun.
It is. Is there a question about there how to pronounce Spokane?
No.
Okay, good. Just wondering.
I'm going to give Guy Carbonneau a little bit of a
Well, he has an accent. I understand that.
He's a French-Canadian.
10 years in this area, pal.
He grew up in Chicoutimi, and there's not a lot of English speakers in Chicoutimi.
Are you sure that's how you pronounce it?
Chicoutimi?
Yeah.
Yes,
Are you sure it's not
yes.
Chicoutimi?
No, it's Chicoutimi because Spokane beat them in the Memorial Cup in '91.
Oh, wow. That's really cool.
Yeah.
That's another one of those trivia things we're going to Boy, I'm going to start my own game here.
That's who Felix Potvin played for.
Oh, really?
And the Chiefs beat Felix Potvin and the Chicoutimi Saguenayens, I think is how you say the mascot.
Did they get him over his shoulder a couple times, glove side?
They beat him like a rented mule. I mean, that was
How do you remember that? I remember them winning.
I was there.
Yeah, but I still, it was a while ago.
It was.
Yeah.
91.
Yeah, I know.
The stuff that happened last week, I can't remember. Short-term memory gone. Long-term memory, I still got it.
Yep.
All right. If you want to play buy or sell, we need 3 callers today. 244-ESPN, 509-244-3776. Say hello to Mark when you call him. 244-ESPN, 509-244-3776. 3 callers needed. Jump on the phone. Buy or sell is brought to you by Dynamic Decks, custom decks built right. 244-ESPN, 509-244-3776. We play buy or sell next. 700 ESPN, 105.3 FM.
Here's Matt Shubb, owner of Dynamic Decks.
Once we show up on your deck, we're on your deck. We don't start a project and go off and start several projects at the same time. So once we show up on your yard and tear out your deck, we're there until it's finished. We try and come in on a Friday, get it out, and then have materials delivered, usually on that Friday. And then on a Monday, we're in there and we're putting it back together, and hopefully you're barbecuing on that thing the next weekend. So it's a nice, smooth process, and it usually takes about a week. It's hard to get return business because most people build one deck every, these decks are going to last 25, 30, 40 years. But we do get a lot of referral business and a lot of second homes, or they build another deck on the front of the house instead of the back of the house. So yeah, we do get a lot of return business, which is great.
Custom decks built right. Dynamic Decks. Visit them online, dynamicdecksinc.com, or phone 464-3325. Dynamic Decks.
The 2019 Spokane International RV Show has arrived. The latest and greatest selection of all the hottest new RVs. Class A, B, and C motorhomes to the most luxurious diesel pushers rolling the open roads. Ultra-light SUV towable lightweight trailers to triple slide live-in luxury trailers and fifth wheels. All the #1 selling brands centrally located at the Spokane Arena. Tiffin and Newmar, Jayco and Winnebago, Forest River Thor, and more. Manufacturers competing head-to-head with the largest rebates and factory incentives of the year. Brand new 2020 model travel trailers starting at just $119 a month. Fifth wheels starting at just $229 a month. And brand new motorhomes starting at just $395 a month. It's the Spokane International RV Show. This Friday, Saturday, and Sunday only at the Spokane Arena. Free parking and admission. We'll see you at the 2019 Spokane International RV Show.
It's not always convenient to focus on your health. That's why Dr. Philip Fowler, founder of Anti-Aging Northwest, has tailored the patient experience to be simple and stress-free. Schedule your appointment online, and the physician of your choice will call or video chat with you at a time that works best for your schedule. At Anti-Aging Northwest, they're committed to improving your quality of life. Visit antiagingnorthwest.com to schedule your free consultation today and receive a $75 gift card. Anti-Aging Northwest, where the art of healing meets the science of medicine.
How do you know when it's time to get it to Gerber?
When he was wrong about the right of way.
When your fender can't fend for itself.
When that parking space wasn't as spacious as you thought.
That's when you get it to Gerber. Gerber Collision and Glass has over 80 years experience and more than 360 locations nationwide that guarantee their work for life. So when you want it done right, get it to Gerber.
When objects in your mirror are actually much closer than they appear.
Yep, get it to Gerber.
The Savings Explosion Sale continues at Dave Smith. Save thousands on new Chryslers, Dodge, Jeeps, and Rams during the summer clearance event. Shop DaveSmith.com. Find out why we are the world's largest Jeep Ram dealer. 800-635-8000.
The Seattle Seahawks training camp is underway. I'm Dennis Patchin with his Coors Light, 700 ESPN, 105.3 FM Spokane Sports Center. Seahawks held their first full team workout on Thursday, but it was a short one. Bobby Wagner was on the field, but just like OTAs, he did not participate in any drills. The Seahawks' first preseason game is at home August 8th against Denver. The Mariner bats exploded for a 10-2 win over Detroit last night. Tim Beckham hit a grand slam. Daniel Vogelbach had 3 RBI. The Tigers, with the worst record in baseball, on pace to lose 112 games. Same two teams tonight at T-Mobile at 7:10. For the second time in 3 games in a series against Tri-Cities, the Spokane Indians scored 10 runs in an inning. 14-2 winners at Tri-City last night. The Indians got those 10 runs in the second. Blaine Krim had 5 hits. Indians back home tonight against Vancouver at 6:30. This 700 ESPN, 105.3 FM Spokane Sports Center is brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light, Spokane's most refreshing beer.
Buy or sell with Patchin and Lukens. Sponsored by Dynamic Decks. Custom decks built right.
700 ESPN, 105.3 FM. It's Patchin and Lukens here in the Frost Brewed Coors Light studio. Thanks for being with us today. Time to play Buy or Sell, brought to you by Dynamic Decks. Custom decks built right. Get one at your house. I got one at mine. 5 questions. Buying or you selling? Mark says we're good on callers. I thought Mark was fibbing me here. Mark, our board op filling in for Steve. I go, in the break, I go, who's our first caller, Mark? And he goes, it's Mark. It's like, oh, no, if he says the next 2 guys are Mark, I was going to. All right, good one, Mark. All right, 5 questions, buying or selling. We got callers, we got questions, we got Dynamic Decks. It's time to play. Vince, here we go.
I'm ready to go.
Buy or sell. We talked about this yesterday.
Okay.
The Pac-12 will play a game in the next 2 college football seasons, either this year or next year, that will start at 9 a.m. Pacific time.
Money is king. I'm going to say buy.
You're going to buy it. Wow.
I'm going to buy that Fox will want to do it. You know, especially this year. I think if it doesn't happen this year, I don't think it happens.
Okay.
Because Fox is now doing this big Saturday noon game.
Yes, they are.
It is their showcase game, their game they're going to make the number one. And one of these games, one of these decent Pac-12 games, SC, Stanford.
Oregon, Washington.
Yeah, maybe. It's going to start at 9
a.m.
Yep. And honestly, fans. All the fans are upset. How about the players? You know, somebody at the Pac-12 media day said, hey, it's no big deal. They're already. A lot of them were. It was John Wilner said they're already practicing at 8. A lot of teams practice. getting up and going to practice is different than getting up and going to a game. I'm sorry.
Adam Shackelford is a longtime coach, coached in college and coached in the arena football, said guys are going to have to get up at 3:30 you're going to have to get your guys up at 3:30 a.m. for a 9 o'clock game.
Yeah. You got to have 4 or 5 hours to get ready. You have to.
I mean, nutritionists tell you a minimum of 4 hours to eat a meal.
Yeah. It's just, but no, we're doing a disservice to fans. That's what we have to think about. Okay.
Wow. All right. Buy or sell, Vince. I enjoy being outside when the temperature is over 90 degrees.
I'm going to answer this from today's aspect. And Tuesday, we've had a couple of 90 degrees days. I got back from Vegas on Monday afternoon, and it averaged probably about 108 for the high there. I like being outside 90 degrees. I'm buying that right now. It's a nice, cool day.
Are you okay normally with 90? If it's 91,
it's
92, 93?
I like 80s. As I've gotten older every year, I've liked a little bit hotter. So I'm okay with 85.
Okay.
After that, but depends on what you're doing. If you're playing golf, I have no problem with 90 degrees when I'm playing golf.
Yeah.
If I have to weed or do something,
mow the lawn.
90's a little harder.
Yeah, I screwed up and mowed the lawn on Tuesday. That was a poor choice on my part.
If I'm going to, like, say, a pool or a lake or something, 90's a good temperature, I think.
It can be 100 if I'm going to a lake or a pool. Yeah. Buy or sell, Vince. The L.A. Clippers are going to win an NBA title in the next 5 years.
I'm going to actually sell that.
Okay.
Because I do believe in karma and tradition and all those things, and I think the Clippers are kind of jinxed.
Okay. Their guy who owns the team, Steve Ballmer, is the richest owner now in basketball with the death of Paul Allen. Okay. I think he really wants – he didn't overpay for that team. He didn't overpay for that team because he just wants to have an NBA team. He wants to win a championship.
I know he does, and I don't think he will.
Okay. All right. Buy or sell, because this was news that came out either late yesterday or earlier today. Sylvester Stallone wants to make more Rocky movies. Rocky 843 or whatever the next one is. Plus, he wants to make a Rocky prequel movie.
Huh.
Okay. Buy or sell, Vince Grippi, the Rocky series of movies should end.
Oh, I'm going to sell that. I like the Creed movie. I haven't seen Creed 2, but I understand it. People liked it. And those are kind of a Rocky. They're a spinoff.
Yeah. It's all part of the Rocky genre.
Right. And so a prequel would be really cool. But I think, Sylvester's grandson can probably play him. Play Rocky as a club fighter before he gets his big. I like prequels if they're done right. Sometimes they're really cool. And so what the heck? I mean, it's entertainment. They're movies. If enough people like them, keep making them.
Okay. Because we're gonna get what is it? Marvel.
Yeah, they're going back. They're redoing things.
We're gonna see 100 of those.
Right. They're gonna have a different. I mean. They're going to have a new Thor, because Thor.
Well, they're talking about having a female
it's
Thor.
Natalie Portman.
Yeah.
She's going to become like Thor or something.
Yeah.
Fine. It's great. If it's their entertainment, what the hey.
Okay. Buy or sell. I could eat tacos every day and enjoy them for a month.
Yeah.
Now I know anybody could eat tacos for a month, but if week 3 you came home, and who was ever fixing the meal, your lovely wife or it was you, said, hey, it's tacos.
Okay, I'm going to say if it was just to do it, just to show you could do it.
Yes.
It would be, I think I might sell that.
No, it's not to do that. If somebody said, I bet you couldn't eat tacos for a month and enjoy it.
Yeah. Here's why I'm going to buy that.
Okay.
I think there probably is at least 30 different types of tacos that you could eat. You wouldn't have to, I don't think you'd have to double up very much. I mean, I don't want to sound like the guy in Forrest Gump, but you could probably start talking, fish tacos, shrimp tacos, hamburger tacos, steak tacos. I don't know, something like that.
I don't know what's going on.
I don't know. There's a ghost in the machine somewhere.
Yeah, something. All right, so I got you down for a buy of that.
I think you could, because I do. I mean, and you could put cheese on them one night. The next night you could put cilantro on them.
Let me ask you a question,
Cabbage,
then. This has nothing
lettuce.
to do with this question.
Okay.
Could you eat tacos longer than you could eat pizza every day?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Okay.
Yeah, because pizza just it just fills you up, and there's only so many light types of pizza.
Okay, it was like it's the two food groups I think that people say they could eat more.
Yeah,
we have tacos probably once a week at our house, but I'm just saying people go, I could eat this 16 days in a row. I could eat this a month in a row.
Yeah.
So I just okay.
I would buy that. Yeah, I think you could.
All right. I'm going to sell this Pac-12 playing a 9:00 start.
You don't think it's going to happen? I think there's too much of a...
Somebody is going to talk the Pac-12 into going, enough is enough. Just, you know what? Start it at noon. Start it at 11. Don't start it. I know what they're doing. The windows are noon, 3:30, 7. Okay? That's where the windows are. That's where the national windows are, which is 9:00, 12:30, 4, or 5 o'clock. All right? And somebody needs to just grab the Pac-12 and go, stop it. Stop.
But when you're fifth.
I understand. But what part of getting players up to play a game at 3:30 in the morning sounds like a good idea?
Well, what part of having players get home at 3:30 in the morning after a 8:30 start?
I'm okay with that more than I am getting guys up at 3:30 in the morning.
But the bars are closed.
And I'm okay with that. At 3:30. Nothing good happens at 3:30 in the morning. Whether you stay up that late or get up that
that's
late.
That's when donuts are the best.
No,
they just came out of the fryer. They're perfect.
Nothing good. I'm for the most part going to sell when the temperature gets over 90 being outside. There's a couple of things I like doing, but for the most part I'm going to sell that. I do think the Clippers are winning an NBA title in the next 5 years. I really do. I think there's a window. There's a window of opportunity, and it might be this year. Or it might be next year. Because I don't think as long as LeBron is on the Lakers, they're going to win a title. At some point in time, he can't be as good as he used to be, right?
No, well, he wasn't as good this year.
No, he wasn't. And that to me says he's going to regress.
Yeah.
Now, he's still going to be a really good basketball player, but he's not going to be the greatest guy in the game. I think the Clippers got it shot. I'm buying the Rocky series movie should end. I will not see anymore. I saw Creed 1. It was okay. I thought it was okay. I saw Creed 2, and I was like, I'm done. That's it. I'm out. I can't do this anymore. And I could eat tacos for a month. That's easy. I think that would be really easy. Because I'm with you, Vince. There's chicken tacos. There's fish tacos. There's hamburger tacos. There's steak tacos. There's tri-tip tacos. There's pork tacos. There's carnitas you can make. Yeah. There's all kinds of stuff. Pulled pork, we've done that before in tacos. Yeah. It's just,
a bunch of different types of tortillas.
Scott says, what about salads for a month? I could do that, too.
Yeah, you have chicken salads.
Steak salad. Hamburger salad. You can cut up turkey meat and put it in there. All kinds. I could eat salads for a month, absolutely. All right, let's go to the phone lines of play. Buy or sell. It's brought to you by Dynamic Decks, custom decks built right. Mark joins us on the show. Hey, Mark, how are you?
Doing great, Dennis. Thanks.
Thank you for calling. We appreciate it. You got any great plans for this weekend?
Swim.
You going swimming?
Oh, yeah. Got a pool.
Oh, well,
wow.
All right.
Question number 3 is going to be easy.
Yeah. I'm not going to ask you that. I'm just going to mark you down for a buy there.
We're all jealous here.
All right. This will be quick, Mark, because we don't want to talk to you anymore because you got a pool. All right.
Hoity-toity guy.
Yeah. Buy or sell. Buy or sell, Mark. The Pac-12 is going to play a game in the next 2 seasons that starts at 9 a.m. Pacific time.
I am going to sell that.
Is that
I
a
just
sell?
Don't think it's,
as in hopeful
yeah,
sell?
they're not going to play a 9 a.m. game.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Man,
You guys,
if they got somebody to negotiate a TV contract that was really worthwhile, then they wouldn't have to worry about this. But we don't have that in the Pac-12.
No, we don't. I agree. I know, Vince. I know what you're saying is if Fox throws enough money at them, they'll do it. I just hope that somebody goes, look, we're not doing that anymore. Yeah. Buy or sell, Mark? This might be a hard question for you, seeing that you have a pool. I enjoy being outside when the temperature is over 90 degrees.
Love it.
You going to buy that? Okay.
I'm buying.
All right. Vince and I are going to bring the Frostbrew Coors Light over, and we'll see you there tomorrow afternoon.
All right. Sounds good.
No, I'm just kidding. We wouldn't do that to you. Mark's the kind of guy who gave us somebody else's neighbor's address across the street. So
Oh, no.
no, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Mark, the Clippers, the LA Clippers are going to win an NBA title in the next 5 years. Buy or sell?
I'm gonna buy that. I think they are going to.
Okay. All right. The Rocky series of movies should end.
Yes, I buy. It'll be like Happy Days. You're going to have Laverne and Shirley, Dragoff's grandson fighting Rocky's grandson. What?
All right, Mark, and maybe the most important question of the day. I could eat tacos every day for a month.
I agree with both of you. So many versions every day.
Yep, very good. All right, Mark, have a great weekend. Thanks for calling.
You too, thanks.
All right, that's Mark. Puts the phone down. Out to the pool. You know it would have been really bad?
Yes.
Had he called us from the pool or from the deck.
Maybe he did. We don't even know. He's got a cell phone. Sure he does. Everybody does.
I'm hoping he didn't do that.
Yeah.
All right. We're qualifying one listener every week, and this listener is actually one who is already qualified. Kelly, thanks for being here. How are you?
How you doing, DP?
I'm good, Kelly. You're going to tee it up with us on the Patchin and Lukens golf tournament, aren't you?
Yes, sir. I already picked somebody, and they said that if they can't go, another friend will be volunteer.
Okay. All right. Did you get something out of your friend you picked? Did you make him pony up something?
No. I think there'll be alcohol involved, maybe.
Okay. All right. Very good. Okay, Kelly, I got 5 questions. You ready to answer?
Sir.
All right, Kelly, the Pac-12 will play a game in the next 2 years that starts at 9 a.m. Pacific time.
I'm going to sell. You know why?
Why?
Because my wife's an Oklahoma Sooner fan. And she gets the TV. Get it?
No.
Well, Oklahoma usually plays at 9 in the morning.
Well,
sometimes.
yeah, because they're playing in the Central Time Zone or most of those games are.
Never mind. That was a caveat.
Oh, okay. All right. Sorry, I'm a little slow today. I was out in the sun today. I didn't deal well with that. So,
Yeah.
All right. Buy or sell. Speaking of being in the sun, I enjoy being outside when the temperature's over 90.
Only with a golf club in my hand.
So is that a buy or is that a sell?
That's a buy. That's a buy.
Okay. All right. The LA Clippers are going to win a title in the next 5 years. Buy or sell?
I'm going to sell that because I quit watching the NBA until the Sonics come back.
Okay. You are not alone in that in the Pacific Northwest. I will tell you that.
In fact, Steve Ballmer should move him to Seattle, but never mind. I'll be nice.
No, he didn't pay $2 billion to move him out of L.A. No. That's if there's a team on the West Coast that's moving to Seattle, it could be Portland.
That'd be nice.
Oh, the Blazer fans would really hate that,
Sacramento.
wouldn't they? We tried that. That didn't work. They got a new building. Buy or sell? Buy or sell?
Go ahead.
Buy or sell, Kelly? The Rocky series of movies should end.
Yesterday.
Okay, that's a buy.
Buy.
Okay. And the final question, Kelly, is I could eat tacos every day for a month.
Well, let me put it this way. My wife is a great cook, and you know me, and you know that I'm kind of skinny.
Yeah.
But I watch Chopped all the time, and I come up with really cool stuff, and he hired me to cook now.
Well, that's good.
We've been married 29 years, you know.
Yeah. Well, first of all, congratulations, and good that you're helping out instead of just sitting around the house playing golf out when it's 90 degrees. So the question.
That's right. Anyway,
the question.
Hey, Dennis, I look forward to seeing you. Is Steve going to be out there?
No, Steve will not be out there because we're going to do our show afterwards. So Steve will be. If you want to visit with Steve, you're going to have to come in to the station to visit. You never answer the question, Kelly. Buy or sell tacos every day for a month?
I'm going to buy.
Okay. All right. Very good.
Hey, see you next week or next month.
September 20th. We look forward to it. Good talking to you, Kelly.
See you, Dennis.
All
Bye-bye.
right. That is Kelly. Kelly had the opportunity to force 4 ties. One tie is what we have for our good pal in Sandy. Speaking of guys who are in Nice weather.
But not 90 degrees very often.
No. It's Pat in San Diego. Hey, Pat, how are you?
I'm good, guys. How are you doing?
Great. What's the weather there today, Pat?
It's roasting hot. It's Chicago weather. It's 95 and like 80% humidity here. We're getting these weird tropical storms coming up through Baja California that are hitting us.
Boy.
Oh, man.
I spent the first 25 years of my life in L.A., and we always went to San Diego to cool off.
I'll tell you, I may be coming up north because I'm going to jump in that other color's pool pretty soon.
Wow. That's sorry about that, Pat.
Oh, no, it makes me kind of feel like I'm back in my childhood neighborhood in Chicago.
There you go. All right, Pat, we got 5 questions. Buying and selling, one tie to break. Here we go. The Pac-12 is going to start a game in the next 2 years that begins at 9 a.m.
Oh, man, terrible idea. I got to sell. You know, when I played rugby at Gonzaga, we had a couple tournaments where we had our first match at 9 a.m., and I'll tell you, you roll out of bed even if it's at 6 a.m., and, you're not ready to go.
I'm going to tell you, the rugby guys that I know would not have been ready to go for a noon start.
Especially if it was on like a Sunday.
I prefer the matches at about 1 o'clock, but I know what you mean.
Yeah, I worked in Missoula and covered the Missoula Maggot Fest one time, a giant rugby tournament played in Missoula. Yeah, there was no good rugby played until about 4 in the afternoon of the second day. Pat, I enjoy being outside when the temperature's over 90 degrees.
Oh, that's a big sell. I'd rather bundle up when it's 0 or 10 degrees out rather than face like I'm doing now where I'm sitting inside in the air conditioning.
The only tiebreaker today, Pat, involves the Clippers. Buy or sell, they win an NBA title in the next 5 years.
I don't like the NBA, but to be fair, I'll buy it.
Okay.
I don't know. I laugh at thinking the Clippers are champions after all the things Donald Sterling did to them.
Well, and San Diego people aren't going to like that.
No, I've got some coworkers who are native San Diegans, and I've talked to them about that. They were bitter in the mid '80s when he moved them to L.A.
They've lost their team twice because they originally had the San Diego Rockets that moved to Houston, and then they got the Clippers from Buffalo, and they moved up to L.A.
Yeah, I guess it's outside of surfing and golf. I guess San Diego can't keep any sports here.
No, they got the Padres, and that's about it right now.
Well, that's the AAA team Padres.
Hey! Stop that.
Yeah, the closest team is the Mariners.
Vince called them the 4A team today in his column. I noticed that. That was a shot right there. Hey, Pat, the Rocky series of movies should end. Are you buying or are you selling?
I'm going to sell because I got like this image when I first heard you ask that question while I was listening, of Stallone in a wheelchair wheeling himself into the arena. And so I love the movies. Don't get me wrong. I mean, the music's totally motivational, motivates you. And but I like the idea, but I gotta sell it.
Final question, Pat. And San Diego is a great place to get tacos. I could eat tacos every day for a month. Buy or sell?
Oh, guys, that's an easy buy. There's a place here, like you were saying, where you think of fish or chicken or steak or whatever. But there's a place here that specializes in fish tacos. And when you guys come down to San Diego to see the Zags play against USD, you got to try it out if you haven't.
Okay, next time we make the trip down there, I got your phone number from the text line. We'll text you and we'll treat you. We'll take you. So if you've got the spot, I'll take you.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Cool.
Shoot me a text. I'm happy to meet up with you guys.
You got it. Hey, Pat, thanks for the call. Always a pleasure. Thanks for listening to us in San Diego.
You guys have a great weekend and have fun with the golf out there this weekend.
All right, thank you. That's Pat from San Diego. Always great.
Yeah, he said one place that has great tacos in San Diego. I think of about 48 other places.
Well, you know what? But if you talk to people who live in Southern California, they all have their spot.
I had my own place too.
Yeah.
But boy, are there a lot of places.
Yeah, but if you know what it's saying, like I go to Vince. Okay, Vince, you're picking today, and Vince is going to take us to the same place. Okay, Pat, you're taking us today. He's going to pick a completely different place, and it's going to be just as good.
Yep. And you're going to end up, if you have enough friends, you're going to end up eating 30 consecutive days of really good tacos.
You're not going to complain.
Yep.
Mark, Kelly, and Pat, here's the results. 4-1 we sold. The Pac-12 will play a game the next 2 years that starts at 9 a.m. Pacific.
You guys are naive.
You know what we are? I think we're hopeful that we don't have to. Yeah. You know what? You might be right, Vince, because money talks. 3-2 we bought. We enjoy being outside when the temps are over 90. 3-2 we bought. The Clippers are going to win a title in the next 5 years, the NBA title. 3-2 we bought. The Rocky series of movies should end, and we're all buying that we could eat tacos every day for a month. Again, thanks to Mark, thanks to Kelly, thanks to Pat, who listens to us in San Diego. We take a time out. Patchin and Lukens here in the Frost Brew Coors Light Studio, 700 ESPN, 105.3 FM. We had a retirement today in our building. I want to talk about that next. 700 ESPN, 105.3 FM.
You thought the beef and cheddar couldn't get any more delicious. And then Arby's added bacon to it. And you thought, oh, okay, but it can't get any better than that. And then Arby's made them 2 for $6. And then you thought, okay, but no, it can't get any better than that. And you were right. The bacon, beef, and cheddar, 2 for $6. Arby's, we have the meats.
At participating Arby's for a limited time.
Ford has announced summer sales event offers. Almost too good to be true. 20% estimated savings on 4x4 F-150 XLTs, Edge SELs, and Escape SEs. We have over 50 F-150s to choose from. Get 20% savings on a 2019 F-150 4x4 XLT Super Crew. 47 new Escapes with 20% off the 2019 Escape SE. And we have about 20 Edges in stock with 20% off Edge SEL. Wendell at the Y or online at Wendell.com.
20% estimated savings based on factory cash, bonus cash, rebates, and average dealer discounts for the 2019 Ford F-150 XLT Super Crew with luxury or chrome package, 2019 Ford Edge SEL, and the 2019 Ford Escape SE. Factory incentives based on possible FMCC prior approval. See dealer for details. Must take delivery from dealer stock by 7/31/19. A negotiable $150 documentation fee may be added to the sale.
Ford has announced summer sales event offers. Almost too good to be true. Wendell at the Y or online at Wendell.com.
Brock and Salk, weekday morning 7 to 10.
It's not just about sports. It's not just about the competition and determining who's going to win and lose. There are other things out there. We care about the drama. We care about the stars. We care about the distraction. The NBA has it. The NFL has it. The NHL and baseball don't. They just don't. They don't have the level of stars. They don't have the same level of drama.
Brock and Salk, weekday mornings on 700 ESPN, 105.3 FM.
At CarMax, when we say we buy all the cars, we mean it. Over the last 20 years, we've purchased millions of cars from coast to coast. In the last year alone, we bought a mountain of Mercurys, an armada of Nissans, a ton of Titans, an ocean of Pacificas, and a sea of Siennas. Not to mention a few Hellcats and a couple of Tornadoes. So no matter what you're selling, CarMax is buying. And we'll buy your car even if you don't buy ours. CarMax, we buy all the cars.
The Home Depot Days of Doing Bath and Kitchen event is going on now, with everything you need to let the savings flow. Like the Moen Genta 4-inch faucet in brush nickel finish for just $99. It combines a contemporary modern design with a spot-resistant finish for a beautifully clean look in your bathroom. Today is the day for doing and stylish updates at the Home Depot Days of Doing Bath and Kitchen event going on now. The Home Depot. More saving, more doing. Offer valid through October 5th while supplies last.
Log on to 700ESPN.com and enter to win tickets to this summer's hottest concerts and comedy shows at Northern Quest Resort and Casino. With over 5,000 seats, there's not a bad seat in the house. Can't get the show? Missing your fix of Patchin and Lukens? The problem is solved by listening at 700ESPN.com.
700 ESPN, 105.3 FM. It's Patchin and Lukens here in the Frost Brewed Coors Light Studio. Mike says, I want to see another Rocky movie as much as I want to see another Rambo movie.
Well, that would be a really good Rocky movie if Rambo saved Rocky from... The prequel could be Rambo saving Rocky. Yeah.
Spokane Ed said 9 a.m. is too early to start a college football game. 10-1, like the pros, is okay. Well, here's the problem with that, Ed. Nobody's playing a 10 a.m. Pacific start time in the Pacific time zone.
Right, there's just too many games.
You're playing that on the East Coast or you're playing that in the Central time zone. So you're either kicking off at 1 o'clock or noon local time. We're talking about starting a game at 9 a.m. Pacific time, local time. We get to see 10 a.m. games, but they're never – we don't play 10 a.m. games in Seattle. We don't play in San Francisco and Los Angeles, in Oakland or soon-to-be Las Vegas or Arizona. No. All right. Today we said goodbye to a guy who has been here a long time. Our good pal Bud Namick. Today is his last official day as let me rephrase that. Today was his last official day as a full-time employee because his day ended this morning. He was down the road, out the door. Thanks for playing. He's been with the company. He got hired here in 1982. He did television for a long time. He did radio for even longer, getting up, doing the anchoring anchoring the morning news on 920. Longtime voice of Cougar basketball, part of the Cougar football broadcast for a long time. In the last couple of years, he was doing those games. He was the play-by-play voice of Cougar football. He retired today, and we're going to miss him. He's been here since I walked in the door, with the exception of about 18 months when he went out on in private business, running a golf driving range. If you remember Birdie's driving range,
Actually, driving all the way up there to use it because it was Bud's place.
Yeah, and but then he came back, and he's been here ever since. He's the reason I'm here. He hired me in 1984. He's the reason Rick Lukens is here. He hired Rick in 1983. We were together for more than 10 years. I'm not bragging. I'm not saying anything. There's never going to be a trio of sports people in this town. They're going to work together for, I think it was 11 years we worked together. With
better baseball cards. That's one thing you guys had, with great baseball cards.
We did have great sports cards. We certainly did. And today was, I'm happy for Bud. He's retiring. Now, he's going to fill in, so you're still going to hear his voice. He's actually going to do some shows here for us when I go on vacation here in a couple of weeks. But today's his last day as a full-time employee, and while he'll be filling in during vacation time, I've seen him every morning for the last 5 years. And now Monday I'm going to come in, he's not going to be here, and that's going to be weird. I owe him a lot. He got me here in this town where other television stations said, we don't want to hire you. And he's done a lot for me and my family because of the opportunity that was given here. And I will never be able to pay him back. And he is done. You know what? And I feel great for him.
Yeah, this is where he needs to go. It's time.
Right.
He's ready.
He is ready.
He's doing it on his own terms.
Yes,
which is rare.
He has the financial wherewithal to quit a few years before we all probably are going to quit.
He's a neighborhood friend.
Yeah, he doesn't live too far away from you, does he?
Mile.
Yeah. So you might actually see him more than I do.
Yeah, maybe.
And all these great things. Now, I'm a little pissed off at him because he got a hole-in-one last night.
Well, hold on one second. Here, because he posted a picture of himself and said he got a hole-in-one. I did some investigating reporting today. I talked to 72 different people, none of which saw Bud get a hole-in-one. Now, none of them were at Qualchan when he was playing, but none of them saw it, so I'm not sure it actually happened.
If you've seen the picture on social media, and it is on our page, I put it up there. I shared it. He has got a gigantic grin on his face. Now, this is not his first hole-in-one. Okay, he's had a hole-in-one before, but I'm not sure if that smile is because he got a hole-in-one, or if that smile is what we're going to see the next time we see Bud. That's the smile he's going to have because he's retired.
Well, I think he has this feeling. What I got of it was, I'm getting ready to retire. I got a hole-in-one. Life's going to be great from now on. Now, I've played with Bud where he hit a shot within an inch and a half of a hole-in-one. I still have the picture on my phone because it happened in a tournament we were playing in together.
Was there a car on the line if you would have made it?
No, there were not.
Okay.
But it's a wet dog first, so there was probably a lot more than just a car.
I'm going to tell you right now, the last place I'd want to get a hole-in-one is at the Wet Dog Fur.
Yes.
Because you know how much beer you would actually have to buy?
Oh, I think I'd just leave. You get your cart. I'm done. See you guys.
I'll meet you in the next tee box and just drive away.
Exactly. But and how happy he was then when he hit that shot.
Yeah.
But so I just want you to know I'm not so sure. I can't verify it.
All right. So sources tell us that the hole-in-one might be a ruse.
Well, I have to see some documentation somewhere. I mean, I really have to see some. It's just not fair.
The smile
retiring and getting a hole-in-one.
I told him this morning, you need to buy a lottery ticket today.
For you?
No,
but he's got to give it to you.
No, because he got it. He got a hole-in-one. So we're gonna miss Bud, and he's been a great friend to both of us. He was a great boss to work for and a great co-worker as well. So we're gonna miss him. All right. When we come back, we'll hear from John Cooper, the head coach of the Tampa Bay Lightning. He is in Coeur d'Alene this weekend for the showcase. The celebrity golf exhibition. They played today in the sponsors tournament. They're playing again tomorrow, and that's the open tournament that you can see. And we'll hear from John Cooper coming up next. It's Patchin and Lukens in the Frostproof Coors Light studio. Vince Grippi filling in for Rick today on 700 ESPN 105.3 FM.
Honey, it feels like a sauna in here.
We gotta call Dr. Andy.
Did someone page Dr. Andy? Ma'am, you may need an AC tune-up.
Don't let this happen to you. Page one of our highly trained Sturm technicians today for your $99 AC tune-up special. Beat the heat and call Sturm today at 325-4505 and stay cool this summer. For more than 70 years, Sturm Heating and Air Conditioning has been the leader in the Inland Northwest for all your HVAC needs. Sturm Heating and Air Conditioning, your one-stop service shop. Contact us today.
Spokane County Raceway is proud to announce the NHRA Coors Light Nitro Summer Nationals Jet Car Finals, August 16th through the 18th. It's a weekend filled with all sorts of racing and drags. Catch Dragula and the Munster Coach as they race down the track Friday and Saturday night. And meet Butch Patrick, also known as Eddie Munster from the Munster. Spokane County Raceway presents the NHRA Coors Light Nitro Summer Nationals Jet Car Finals featuring NHRA Heritage Series event, Nitro Funny Cars, Nitro Top Fuel Dragsters, Blown Alcohol Thunder, Funny Cars and Dragsters, Northwest Nostalgia Tour, the BBFC Association, Wheel Sanders, Ed the Outlaw Jones, and Nitro Mike. Plus the Lucas Oil Summit Series classes 10.5 and 8.5 Outlaws, Jet Cars, and Helicopter Rides. Get your tickets and mark your calendar for a loaded weekend starting August 16th. This weekend is proudly sponsored by the NHRA Summit Racing Equipment Racing Series, High Performance Lucas Oil Products, Coors Light, and Dr. Pepper. Get your tickets today at SpokaneCountyRaceway.com.
I'm Trevor, owner of 24 Taps Burgers and Brews. We have a little slice of paradise waiting for you at 24 Taps. I'm inviting you to stop in and carve a little space for yourself to dine al fresco in our very cool outdoor patio. No, don't be running around naked. Al fresco is outdoor dining, where you'll enjoy serious gourmet burgers, cold brews on the most entertaining patio downtown. Get a little romance and party at the same time. Join us for dinner tonight. 24 Taps Burgers and Brews and patio. 24 North Lincoln.
Honey, we need to talk.
Uh-oh. What are you up to now?
It's summer and time is of the essence here, and we need to go enjoy the kids and the outdoors.
Okay, what's up?
Well, I just heard Click It RV through the month of July is having a huge green ribbon sale, marking down RVs 20 to 40% off.
Funny you should say that. I've also heard they're offering zero-down specials, low rates, and no payments until October, which means we can go camping for free in our RV.
I'm so excited! Click It RV, Spokane's largest RV superstore, has over 20 acres of RVs to choose from, honey.
So I'm on the internet. Look at this selection and reviews. They're obviously taking great care of their customers.
Let's go to this 20 to 40% off green ribbon sale where they guarantee nobody will beat their prices. I bet we save big.
You know what? I'm taking this old trailer and back in for trade. I heard they're offering top dollar for trade in any condition.
Great, let's go. Let's go to Click It RV's 20 to 40% off green ribbon sale on now at Nevada and Newport Highway.
Mixed martial arts boxing returns to the House of Fury at Coeur d'Alene Casino Resort Hotel August 17th. Details and tickets at cdacasino.com.
The Seattle Seahawks season is underway. I'm Dennis Patchin with his Coors Light, 700 ESPN, 105.3 FM Spokane Sports Center. Pete Carroll and 90 players on the field Thursday for the first full team workout. Bobby Wagner was there as well, but didn't participate in any of the drills. He was off limits to the media, but KJ Wright did tell reporters something is going to get done quick regarding Wagner's contract. The Mariners have won back-to-back games for the first time in a month thanks to last night's 10-2 win over Detroit. Daniel Vogelbach knocked in 3 runs. Tim Beckham added a grand slam. Wade LeBlanc picked up the win in 9 games where the Mariners have used an opener with LeBlanc. He's 4-0 with a 2.86 ERA. Mariners the Tigers again tonight at T-Mobile at 7:10. For the second time in 3 games, the Spokane Indians scored 10 runs in a win, beat Tri-City last night 14-4. Indians back home hosting Vancouver at 6:30. The 700 ESPN 105.3 FM Spokane Sports Center is brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light, Spokane's most refreshing beer.
Two cold ones in the Frost Brewed Coors Light studio. It's Patchin and Lukens.
700 ESPN, 105.3 FM. This hour of the program is brought to you by Bulldog Rooter, and we appreciate their sponsors up here. John Cooper is the head coach of the Tampa Bay Lightning. We kind of know him in this part as Tyler Johnson's head coach, but he is a really good hockey coach. He helped Tampa, not some great success in the postseason this year, but they were just the 3rd team in the regular season to win 60 or more games in National Hockey League history, and he is out at the showcase event. He's back for another round of this, and we had a chance to visit with him a little bit earlier this morning on the practice tee. John, obviously coming back, this event and the cause must mean something to you.
Oh, there's no question. In Tampa, I run a charity called Coop's Catch for Kids, and it benefits pediatric cancer. And so to be involved in this with Jared Kiefer and Ryan Gee and Fritz Wolf and those guys, it's such an unreal cause. And I make sure this is circled on the calendar, when the date comes out.
Tell us a little bit about when you come to Coeur d'Alene, because you've been here before and you come back here and see such a gorgeous part of the world. How that makes you feel?
Well, actually, we were just talking about with our group here. It's kind of the hidden secret we don't want anybody to know. If anybody could, we're doing this interview right now, but to look out here and see an island green, a beautiful lake, no clouds in the skies, no humidity. It's just a phenomenal place to be. But the one thing that my wife and I always talk about is how genuinely nice everybody is. And it's just a pleasure to be here, and that's why we come here in the summer.
We're not going to tell anybody that. We're all mean, and it's just an awful place to be. As a coach, can you ever get away from your game, even in the summertime?
Well, it always depends on how the year goes. So for a long time, this year was going great, and obviously didn't have the playoffs we wanted. So it sits with you, and especially when you have that long a time off as we've had this year, it's been kind of tough. And this is the time that kind of July and the start of August where you actually just let go. But in a couple weeks here, we'll be right back at it.
You're not just here checking up on Tyler, making sure he's getting his work done, are you?
No doubt about that. I was actually just saying, looking for him right now, making sure he's in a group either in front of me or behind me.
Thanks for the time, John.
My pleasure.
That's John Cooper. I got a chance to spend a little time with him last year. He's a really good guy, and just had a difficult time in the postseason this season. And
they weren't built for the postseason.
They had some issues, and they lost a couple of games at home and just never were able to recover. So
it's a different game.
It certainly is
in hockey, and their size. They weren't the biggest team.
No, and I will tell you, Vince, that is probably a learning lesson. We saw the Warriors do it when they broke the Bulls record for regular season wins and they didn't win the championship.
Yeah.
So, I think you're going to see teams like Tampa Bay go, you know what, we don't have to win 60 games. Let's just get ready. Let's win 50, 52, 53 and get ready for the playoffs and make sure we're rested. I think sometimes when you put a lot of emphasis now anymore on that regular season, and you know what, here's the other thing is, fans don't care anymore. Fans don't care if you win 100 games in baseball. They want a championship, and that's it. So however you need to get to that point, that's what you got to do. All right. When we come back, Ryan Divish will join us. He writes for the Seattle Times. He wrote an interesting story in today's edition of the Times regarding Felix Hernandez and where is he right now, not only physically, but more importantly, mentally. We'll visit with our good pal, Ryan Divish, coming up next. It's Patchin and Lukens here in the Frostbrew Coors Light studio. Vince Grippi in for Rick today, 700 ESPN, 105.3 FM.
The savings explosion sale continues at Dave Smith. Receive our lowest prices of the year. Save thousands on over 900 new Chevys, GMCs, and Buicks. Shop DaveSmiths.com. See why we are the Northwest's largest GM dealer. 800-635-8000.
Do good, feel good. That's the Ed Servio way.
Zero Res Carpet Cleaning is a proud supporter of all things pets. And even if you can't adopt right now, you can still help support the animals in our community by volunteering at the Spokane Humane Society. Visit SpokaneHumaneSociety.org to see all the ways you can help and consider donating your time or money to help the organization.
This message is brought to you by Ed Servio with support from Global Credit Union, Residential Home Solutions, and Zero Res.
The 2019 Spokane International RV Show has arrived. The latest and greatest selection of all the hottest new RVs. Class A, B, and C motorhomes to the most luxurious diesel pushers rolling the open roads. Ultra-light SUV towable lightweight trailers to triple slide live-in luxury trailers and fifth wheels. All the #1 selling brands centrally located at the Spokane Arena. Tiffin and Newmar, Jayco and Winnebago, Forest River, Thor, and more. Manufacturers competing head-to-head with the largest rebates and factory incentives of the year. Brand new 2020 model travel trailers starting at just $119 a month. Fifth wheels starting at just $229 a month. And brand new motorhomes starting at just $395 a month. It's the Spokane International RV Show. This Friday, Saturday, and Sunday only at the Spokane Arena. Free parking and admission. We'll see you at the 2019 Spokane International RV Show.
Come on, relax with us on a summer night. Indians baseball makes you feel just right. We're here to have fun, and that's what we're gonna do.
Tonight, Saturday, and Sunday, your Spokane Indians are back home at Avista Stadium. It's a big weekend with fireworks tonight and Saturday night.
Back to the left field wall, going, and it's gone for a home run.
Your first half division champion Spokane Indians host the Vancouver Canadians tonight, Saturday, and Sunday at Avista Stadium. Right after the game, both tonight and Saturday, we'll have huge fireworks shows presented by your local Toyota dealers. This Sunday, 5:09 start is Hawaiian and Harley Day presented by Lone Wolf Harley Davidson. The annual pregame Ride the Bases motorcycle ride presented by U.S. Linen and Uniform. More info at SpokaneIndians.com. For tickets, go to TicketsWest.com or call 343-AUTO. That's 343-6886.
Going, it is gone! It's a home run.
Fireworks tonight and Saturday. As always, plenty of free parking.
It's not always convenient to focus on your health. That's why Dr. Philip Fowler, founder of Anti-Aging Northwest, has tailored the patient experience to be simple and stress-free. Schedule your appointment online, and the physician of your choice will call or video chat with you at a time that works best for your schedule. At Anti-Aging Northwest, they're committed to improving your quality of life. Visit antiagingnorthwest.com to schedule your free consultation today and receive a $75 gift card. Anti-Aging Northwest, where the art of healing meets the science of medicine.
Local sports perspective like nowhere else.
KXLX Airway Heights, Spokane.
Weekdays at 3, Patchin and Lukens on 700 ESPN and 105.3 FM. If you're not following us on Facebook, you're missing out. 700 ESPN.
700 ESPN, 105.3 FM. It's Patchin and Lukens here in the Frostbrew Coors Light studio. Thanks for being with us. Final hour of the show here today. And Vince Grippi filling in for the vacationing Rick Lukens today. And one of his requests, he said, I'll work, but I got to get Ryan Divish on the show. And Ryan was nice enough to come on the show. We appreciate you coming on. Thanks for being here, Ryan. How are you?
Covering a game between two teams that have a combined 70 wins.
Okay. Here's the thing is, when Vince said, can you get Divish on the show, I said, I'll ask him. And you were gracious enough to come on the show. And we were going to, and we may still, but we were going to talk about trade deadline and where we are and getting close to that. And then you write the story on Felix Hernandez. And for the first time, Ryan, ever, I felt bad for Felix Hernandez after reading your story. You made me feel empathy for a guy that I 3 days ago was ready to get rid of because he didn't do what he needed to do. So thank you, or maybe not.
Yeah, that was. I had several people tweet me and said that I made them sad, and I was like, well, yeah, it was not intentional, but it was. You just kind of get writing in those situations, and you kind of feel the emotion of the moment, and he was very, for whatever reason, in a very reflective kind of mood and open mood. I didn't even know he was throwing a live batting practice session. I got there kind of early. I don't even know. I got there kind of early because I was trying to avoid traffic or something, and then and he's out there throwing his live BP, and it was terrible. I mean, it was terrible. It was like that first bullpen he threw this year where a Mariners front office guy said it looked like he hadn't picked up a ball all off season, which may or may not have been true. And so, going to go down and just write kind of my pregame notebook on Felix and just what, this 22 pitches. And then he talks about, we asked him, you could tell he was willing to talk about stuff. And so we asked him about next year. And if he wants, he made like, well, I got to pitch. These games are important if I want to play next year. And so we started asking him about playing next year. And then, and just kind of took off from there. And then, so the interview only lasted about 3 minutes. And one of the problems was he mumbles so damn bad. I mean, it sounds like he's got a mouthful of marbles all the time. And so a couple of the quotes I had difficulty hearing, like when I asked him about, I just said I asked. I hate that when reporters say that. I asked, told me. Anyways, he was asked about pitching again in front of Safeco, and I couldn't really, I heard it's awesome, and then I couldn't hear a bunch of it. But he sat down on this couch, and then we were standing there waiting to talk to other people, and he just kind of kept talking to me and Shannon Dreyer about some stuff. And so he gave us some more background into how he's feeling, about not having his family there, being alone and all this stuff, and just about kind of the mortality of his baseball career that he has been unwilling to address for much of his time with the Mariners. These last few years, you ask him about it, and he doesn't want to talk about it. But he was really open just about playing or maybe not playing and all this stuff. And so you get up there, and I transcribe the quotes, and I'm kind of taking notes off of what he said to me and Shannon on the couch, and thinking, yeah, I got to kind of write this in a different way. And, I mean, my God, I've covered enough crappy games this year, that the games don't really matter. This was the story of the day, not the game.
Yeah, I completely agree with that because, when he said, hey, I come here, I do whatever I need to do, I go home and I go to bed. It's like, I just like, that's so sad.
Yeah, I mean, he really is into his kids and his family, and to not have his kids here, and he loves dogs. Like, he was talking about just going and adopting a dog because he was so alone. And I'm like, oh my God, Felix, so he didn't have his dog or anything like that. And it is when you are on the disabled list or injured list, as you call it now, for as long as he's been, and you're not traveling with the team. And I mean, really, if you think about the turnover on this team, I was talking to Lloyd McClendon today, who's here with the Tigers, and only 3 players on this team were here when Lloyd was here: Roenis Elias, Kyle Seager, and Felix Hernandez. The rest are all new. So, the turnover is amazing. And Felix doesn't have that many close friends on the team. They're all gone. It's kind of just Elias. So he's just kind of operating alone on all of this. And then I just think that the realization of where he's at in his career, and, for the first time, I think he really is scared about what his future holds. And the problem is, I don't think he knows what to do about it.
Yeah, he sounded lonely. He did. He sounded lonely.
Yeah, he did. And, it's going to feel even more lonely if he can't come back. I don't know if he's going to pitch again or not. I really don't.
Ryan, what's your gut tell you? Have we seen the last time Felix has pitched in a Mariner uniform?
I hope not. I hope he gets at least one time to pitch here. I think, they'd like him to come back and pitch a little bit because if for no other reason, you say Kikuchi's innings are starting to mount up, and, once they want to control the innings of Justin Dunn and Justice Sheffield when they bring them up, in September. They're not going to pitch them all the time. So they want to monitor some innings, so they want to have Felix. And, I think he deserves the right, if he's healthy enough, to make a few more starts in a Mariners uniform. He's not coming back. They don't want him back. He doesn't want to come back. But and it's amazing if you look at Twitter how people have turned on this guy really pretty quickly, considering, and it's been 3 years of maybe 4 of a pretty nasty downward slide. But, also he was the face of this franchise, and when they would do nothing to help him out, he stayed here, and he believed in trying to build something here. He could have left, and maybe the Mariners realistically should have traded him to get more. After the 2009 season, after the 2012 season. But he stayed, and he wanted to try and build something here, and he believed in a concept of this team being a World Series team in Seattle, probably more than the ownership did.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about Felix earlier, and that's the one thing I wanted to dwell on is the fact is he is a Mariner. He since he's been 18 years old, he's been a Seattle Mariner, and that's all he seemed to want to be, and that's worth something in a town where everybody seems to want to get the heck out of here as fast as they can.
No, you're absolutely right, and he embraced this city. He loved living here. He would do stuff for the community. Big with the Make-A-Wish Foundation and Seattle Children's, the Humane Society here. All these things, he's around town. He lived in Bellevue. He would always be around, I think. And he stayed here in the off season for a good portion of it. He made the decision, and it was kind of unclear in my story. He made the decision last year, I think, at the end of last season, to move his family full-time to Miami. They had built a house there, but he had a nice place here in Bellevue, and they were kind of waffling on what to do. And part of it is your kids are going to school and they're making friends and doing sports and stuff, and they wanted some stability. And he finally just realized, I'm not going to be here next year after this, so let's just keep them in Miami so they can kind of build some roots there, because that's a better place to go than a place where he knows he's not going to be around much longer.
All right, Ryan, the original and great story. If you have not read it, go to Seattle Times, and it's a very interesting piece on Felix Hernandez. And we've got a lot of people who listen to our show that have basically given up on Felix, and maybe you'll feel a little bit differently about him. Ryan, where are we with the trade deadline? I know that D. Gordon was a candidate. He's on the injured list. Carlos Santana or Domingo Santana is hurt with an elbow injury. Mike Leake has pitched well, but he's owed a bunch of money. What's going on with the trade deadline?
Yeah, it's the Mariners have kind of an expensive garage sale going on right now that nobody really wants to buy anything. I don't know. I really thought that Roenis Elias and D. Gordon would be the two of the players guaranteed to be traded because they actually have some value. I actually thought the Cubs would make a run at those two together in some sort of package deal, where the Mariners eat a lot of the money or whatever and give up something. But the Cubs just went and got Derek Collins, and kind of the same thing that Roenis Elias is.
Right.
So I don't know. With Gordon on the injured list, I can't imagine he'd be traded. They're going to have to try and do it in this offseason. They're basically willing to give Mike Leake away. Look, Mike Leake has made it clear that he would prefer to go be traded. And the Mariners have been wanting to trade him since the offseason. And then he's done a little bit of things this year that have kind of irritated the coaching staff to the point where, they're all ready to move on. I don't know if they want maybe necessarily him to influence the young kids that they'll bring in later. Mike's just kind of a guy that likes to nitpick everything and voice his opinion on everything when sometimes, it's probably best just not to voice your opinion. And he's admitted that from time to time. But they'll essentially give him away, similar to what they did with Jay Bruce. Because they're just kind of I wouldn't say addition by subtraction, but they're just kind of done with it. And they know they want to give other guys opportunities. So, yeah, I if somebody's willing to take him, and I think it'll go right up to the 31st, because these teams that want a pitcher, Milwaukee, Philly, somebody like that, they don't get maybe Zach Wheeler or, now with Madison Bumgarner off the market, they don't get Mike Minor, but they need that depth. They need that fourth starter. Maybe they take a chance on Mike Leake.
Send him to Cleveland so he and Trevor Bauer can pop off together.
Well, he's not going to approve a trade to Cleveland. We all know that. Hey, Ryan, if the Mariners don't do anything at the deadline, or let's just say they trade Roenis Elias but don't really get much back, if D. Gordon is still here, if Mike Leake is still here, pick somebody else if they're still here. Is this a fail by Jerry Dipoto if he can't get some of these guys off the roster by July 31st?
No, I think it's a fail in a lot of ways that they're on the roster in the first place. I mean, you look at, they went out and got D. Gordon to trade it for him. They really didn't give up much, but they got him with the idea of converting him to center field, which was an epic disaster. They basically got a second baseman. They had another second baseman. And then, with Leake, the Cardinals were just trying to get rid of him for a lot of the same reasons the Mariners were. And, they took on some money. And the Mariners at that time were trying to go for it, and they needed pitching depth because their pitching staff was so bad. And maybe that's not as bad because you knew what Mike Leake is. But, yeah, I mean, they're here, and you couldn't move them because he took on contracts that were basically untradeable in a lot of ways because teams just don't want that anymore. I'm sure they're going to try and do it again in the offseason. Like, they can't move Mike Leake and D. Gordon. They'll try and trade him again this offseason. And try and so they can start fresh. Because, I mean, the Mariners want to have Justin Sheffield and probably Justin Dunn in their rotation with Marco and Wade LeBlanc and Kikuchi. They don't need Mike Leake around. Maybe they try and start the season with him and trade him at the deadline next year as a rental. But, same with D. Gordon. They'd prefer to just go with Shed Long every day and J.P. Crawford so they can get their double play tandem of the future experience together instead of waiting and having somebody that is going to be gone after next year on the team.
Ryan, is it a case where they would basically pay the entire salary of a guy just to get him off the roster?
I think they would come pretty close with Leake, which it baffles me a little bit because I've been told, I know Ken Rosenthal kind of poo-pooed my report, but I trust my sources within the organization and within the Diamondbacks organization. That the framework of that trade was done, and Rosenthal kind of said, well, Leake's agent hadn't been contacted about waiving the no-trade clause, but, I mean, the trade was to Arizona. Mike Leake would never not waive his no-trade clause to go to Arizona. That's where he lives at. It's his home. So, I think, and what happened with that deal is that Mariners ownership scuttled the deal over money, and that I think that they thought maybe they were being a little reactionary, that Dipoto and those guys were being a little reactionary, and maybe they thought it was bad image or bad optics because, they've made all those moves with Encarnacion and with Bruce. So I don't know. I don't understand kind of how that didn't happen, and I don't know that the Diamondbacks are willing to go back down that road. So, that's the door closed. So I think they'd be willing to do it. They did it a lot already this year. I mean, maybe they're asking whatever team to pick up $1 million or $2 million, but yeah, they're willing to eat a lot, which is kind of amazing.
If you had to pick one player this year in such a down year that's exceeded expectations, I have a thought who it would be, and he plays a position I think is the most important in the game. But I've been really surprised about how well Omar Narvaez has played. Would you think he's the most surprising?
Yeah, I agree. I think the catching tandem in general of Narvaez and Murphy has been one of the most productive positions they've had. And if you look at the overall numbers of those two combined versus the catching of other teams, it's probably top 6 or 7 in baseball in terms of production. They complement each other well. The power numbers have been better than I thought. Narvaez was always a decent average, high on base guy, but he's added some power to him. Maybe it's the juice baseball. We don't know. But, they have been much better, and they haven't been terrible defensively. I know I get some people saying they're awful. They are kind of who they are. I think Narvaez has been better.
Yeah, better than I
expected.
Ever thought, yeah.
Yeah, because I thought he was going to be like Jeff Clement reborn, but he's been better than that. He still boxes a few balls, and now I'm sure Vince, this probably flies in the face of everything you were taught as a catcher, and me too, but you have these guys resting one leg on the ground now so they can get lower to receive the ball. It shows you what the importance that they put on framing over blocking, because they'll let these guys kind of lay that one leg down and rest on one knee so they can get lower. Yeah, I think that's probably been the position. And honestly, J.P. Crawford was terrible this spring. I thought he wasn't very good, and I was far from impressed. And I've been really impressed with him since he's been called up. And he had that little funk coming out of the All-Star break, but I think he's got 7 hits in the last 3 games. And he's put, after watching Tim Beckham play shortstop for a month, I mean, J.P. Crawford looks like Ozzie Smith right now.
Yeah, so would you.
Hey, Ryan, is there a guy you're looking forward to seeing that's going to get recalled in September?
Yeah, I mean, the pitchers are fine, but they're pitchers, and as a former catcher, I tire of pitchers quickly. But I'm curious to see what Kyle Lewis looks like. They're going to call him up because they have to put him on the 40-man roster regardless. And I know his numbers aren't outstanding. He doesn't have the numbers that Jake Fraley or maybe Evan White does. But I've talked to some scouts within the organization and some opposing scouts, and they've talked about how hard Lewis is hitting the ball. And even opposing scouts make sure to remind me that, look, this is his first full year of playing baseball. Because of injuries, because of surgeries, he's never had a full spring training and a full season. This is his first full year. And the amount of talent that guy has, a lot of people think that he is going to make a huge leap next year. And I think he'll start next year in Tacoma. But, I mean, I'm curious to see how he comes up and handles this, because there are the physical tools there. You look at the Mariners' outfield prospects, they've got some. They've got Kelnick down in Modesto and Julio Rodriguez and West Virginia, and you've got Kyle Lewis and Jake Fraley. And, you kind of feel bad for Braden Bishop because, he would have been playing quite a bit had he not lacerated his spleen, which isn't even the worst injury on the team. But, yeah, I probably Kyle Lewis is the guy I'm most interested to see. Obviously, Fraley will be interesting as well. But, those are the 2 guys. Pitchers are pitchers.
I'm glad you didn't say Ryan Court, who just got added to the Major League roster, who started his season with Sugar Land and not the band. He was in the Independent Athletic League. So,
it was kind of funny. Mike Curto, I was talking to him about it today because I called him and to find out who was going to get called up before they announced it. And we were just talking about Court, and he goes, yeah, it's a nice story. He's been grinding through the minor leagues, 31 years old, getting his first big league debut. I was like, yeah, I just wrote that story the other day on Tim Lopes, and I wrote it earlier this year on Austin Nola.
Yeah.
You just saved the same story, just took the name and changed the name and where he was, right?
Yeah, and I mean, it is really cool. I mean, yeah, Ryan Court played for the Sugar Land Skeeters, and I like Ryan Court because his first professional season was in Missoula, Montana, for the Missoula Ospreys. We talked about how great Missoula was today, but yeah, I mean it was 11 years. I think he's been in the big leagues or 10 or in the minor leagues. He's grinding. He's been released twice. Played minor league independent ball twice. Played in Dominican Republic. I mean, you got to want it to get here on that. And so for those guys to get here, even if it's 3 games or whatever, hey, that's a really good deal for him.
Ryan, always a pleasure. Thanks so much. Great story on Felix Hernandez. It's again, I was mad at myself because I felt bad for him, and I haven't felt bad for him in a long time. So we appreciate the coming on the show. Thanks for doing that.
No, you're no problem. You're right about Felix. He is one of the more curious, frustrating. It's just like I always call him the pitching version of Hamlet. He is kind of a Shakespearean tragedy in a lot of ways, and it's the more you write about him, the more interesting he becomes.
Yeah. Thanks, Ryan. We'll talk to you soon. Thank you.
All right, see you guys.
All right,
see you, man.
Ryan Divish, really good guy. He's a really good guy.
Yes, he is.
I think he's a really good writer too.
He's a hard worker too.
He is, and he's a must follow on Twitter if you're on that world.
Yeah, if you don't mind a little snark once in a while.
Well, you know what? But I'm going to tell you, I think if you're on Twitter, you have to have a little snark,
or you have to have a really thick skin and you ignore things.
That's true. That's true. All right. We're going to take a time out. Patchin and Lukens here in the Frost Brew Coors Light Studio, 700 ESPN, 105.3 FM.
July is a great month, right in the heart of summer, and of course, we have the big holiday. All month long, it's National Carpet Cleaning Month. This is Rick Lukens. That's a big deal for Zero Res because carpet cleaning is what they do better than anyone else. Listen, I've been through it firsthand in the Lukens home, and we've had a chance to compare Zero Res to other carpet cleaners. There's simply no comparison. They put the right people in your home. They go out of their way to do it right, always wearing foot covers, putting up corner guards. I've watched them attack stubborn stains like a personal vendetta. And when they clean, the carpet stays clean longer than anyone else we've used. Going on 2 decades, Zero Res is the best value in carpet cleaning because they do the job right. Just $44 a room for carpet cleaning, and it usually lasts us over a year. And you can get 2 air vents cleaned free right now when you book a whole home air duct cleaning. Minimums apply, but be sure to mention Rick Lukens when you call 92 Clean. Call 92 Clean or book online at ZeroResSpokane.com. Zero Res carpets and air ducts, the right way to clean.
If you're a paint contractor, the Home Depot is here to save you money. You can get the same or better quality paint as you do at paint stores, but you also get one thing paint stores don't have: low prices every day on every gallon of high-quality Behr paint, stains, and primers. Plus, for pros, volume discounts. How much are you paying per gallon? At the Home Depot, you pay less for Behr paint every day, like Behr Pro paint starting at just $15.48 a gallon. The Home Depot. More saving, more doing. U.S. only. See store for details.
Let's consider the secret life of the innermost nesting doll. Living most of her life in the dark, inside the other nesting dolls, she has plenty of time to think, if she could. Sadly, she has no brain. However, when an innermost nesting doll hears that Geico not only saves people money, but also has been providing great service for over 75 years, she thinks it's obvious you should switch. Because yes, switching to Geico is a no-brainer. Pity the innermost nesting doll and her lot in life.
Brock and Salk, weekday morning 7 to 10.
Jerks, what's more relaxing, a sauna or a hot tub? It's got to be a hot tub. I think this is the easiest question.
It's not even relaxed.
Exactly. After a minute you're in the sauna, I got to get out of here.
Get me out of
Too
here.
much.
Claustrophobic.
I've got to go.
Hey, can I give you a little hint, though? Steam room. Steam room over sauna, and one other thing. You will never have a better shave than you will out of a steam room.
Oh, you're all moistened up.
Brock and Salk, weekday mornings on 700 ESPN.
The Coeur d'Alene Tribe and Casino invite you to July Umpsh, the largest outdoor powwow in the Northwest. A celebration with tribal dance competitions and dancers from across the U.S. and Canada, plus drum groups, arts and crafts, great food, and a lot more. Everyone is welcome, so come immerse yourself in the tradition and the fun of July Umpsh. Just $10 for adults, free for seniors and children. July 26th through 28th at Kootenai County Fairgrounds. More info at julyamsh.com.
Log on to 700ESPN.com and enter to win tickets to this summer's hottest concerts and comedy shows at Northern Quest Resort and Casino. With over 5,000 seats, there's not a bad seat in the house.
The Seattle Seahawks training camp is underway. I'm Dennis Patchin with his Coors Light, 700 ESPN, 105.3 FM Spokane Sports Center. Seahawks held their first full team workout on Thursday, but it was a short one. Bobby Wagner was on the field, but just like OTAs, he did not participate in any drills. The Seahawks' first preseason game is at home August 8th against Denver. The Mariner bats exploded for a 10-2 win over Detroit last night. Tim Beckham hit a grand slam. Daniel Vogelbach had 3 RBI. The Tigers, with the worst record in baseball, on pace to lose 112 games. Same 2 teams tonight at T-Mobile at 7:10. For the second time in 3 games in a series against Tri-Cities, the Spokane Indians scored 10 runs in an inning. 14-2 winners at Tri-City last night. The Indians got those 10 runs in the second. Blaine Krim had 5 hits. Indians back home tonight against Vancouver at 6:30. This 700 ESPN, 105.3 FM Spokane Sports Center is brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light, Spokane's most refreshing beer.
Don't forget your chance to win is when we open the ticket window on Patchin and Lukens.
700 ESPN, 105.3 FM. We got a jam-packed last half hour of the show program. At about 5:45, Wayne Gretzky will join us, the great one. He's part of the Community Cancer Fund Showcase event. You'll hear from him coming up in about 15 minutes. We've got the word of the day for you with 50,000 bonus points. It's wingman. Wingman is the word of the day. Go to 700ESPN.com. And you can pick up your bonus points by entering the word wingman. 50,000 bonus points. And don't forget, starting next Saturday on August 3rd, we are going to give you words of the day on Saturday. Something we've never done before, but the only way you're going to get the word of the day on Saturday is by downloading our app, our new app, and allowing push notifications. That's how we'll send you the word of the day. The word of the day coming Saturday to the app at 700 ESPN. the 700 ESPN app, and that's the only way you will get it. So download that and allow those push notifications to come on through. There's news regarding Bobby Wagner and a contract extension. We'll have that for you next. It's Patchin and Lukens. Vince Grippi filling in for Rick today on 700 ESPN 105.3 FM.
Your local forecast brought to you by Wendell Ford, Wendell Nissan, and Wendell Pre-Owned. Over 500 vehicles in one location.
Hi, it's Chris Crocker in the 4 News Now First Alert Weather Center. We have cooler weather on the way for the weekend, but it is also going to be windier, especially on Saturday. Wind gusts up to 35 miles per hour. Our high temperature down from the 90s today will be in the mid-80s. Mid-80s on Sunday with sunshine and calmer conditions.
Your local forecast brought to you by Wendell at the Y. Online at wendell.com.
Do good, feel good. That's the Ed Servio way.
Greater Spokane County Meals on Wheels provides home-delivered meals to homebound elderly and people with disabilities. They also provide meals at 12 senior dining locations in Spokane County. Residential Home Solutions invites you to learn how you can help fight senior hunger by visiting gscmealsonwheels.org.
This message is brought to you by Ed Servio with support from Global Credit Union, Residential Home Solutions, and Zero Res.
There are a lot of things to consider when looking for a real estate agent to help you buy, sell, or list a house.
Every day you're on the go, checking things out.
Sometimes it's about repairing drywall.
Looking at market trends and research to determine pricing.
Meeting water and sewer companies to develop land.
Answering 80 phone calls a day from people just looking.
For over 80 years, Coldwell Banker Tomlinson real estate agents have been working hard to help people navigate through the home buying and selling process. It's not an easy job, but it's always rewarding. And with over 160 agents in the field and traditions of excellence, they've earned the trust of this community by doing it right.
We understand this is a major purchase.
It's more than just putting a sign in the ground. It's about the extra effort that all adds up.
There's a sense of pride of going the extra mile, paying close attention to detail.
It's this kind of dedication and commitment that sets the standard as the hardest working pros in the industry today. Coldwell Banker Tomlinson. Let's go to work.
The 2019 Spokane International RV Show has arrived. The latest and greatest selection of all the hottest new RVs. Class A, B, and C motorhomes to the most luxurious diesel pushers rolling the open roads. Ultra-light SUV towable lightweight trailers to triple slide live-in luxury trailers and fifth wheels. All the #1 selling brands centrally located at the Spokane Arena. Tiffin and Newmar, Jayco and Winnebago, Forest River Thor, and more. Manufacturers competing head-to-head with the largest rebates and factory incentives of the year. Brand new 2020 model travel trailers starting at just $119 a month. Fifth wheels starting at just $229 a month. And brand new motorhomes starting at just $395 a month. It's the Spokane International RV Show. This Friday, Saturday, and Sunday only at the Spokane Arena. Free parking and admission. We'll see you at the 2019 Spokane International RV Show.
Live cage fights invade Coeur d'Alene Casino Saturday, August 17th. World Fighting Championships presents an explosive night of action. The card will feature Coeur d'Alene's own Killian Estes, Ryan Mulvihill, Craig Fleissner, Tyler Syjon, and many more. Tickets start at just $35. Visit the Coeur d'Alene Casino box office or WFCfights.com. That's WFCfights.com. Live cage fights August 17th. Don't miss it at Coeur d'Alene Casino. All bouts subject to change.
Log on to 700ESPN.com and enter to win tickets to this summer's hottest concerts and comedy shows at Northern Quest Resort and Casino. With over 5,000 seats, there's not a bad seat in the house. Download the mobile app and listen to the show anywhere. 700 ESPN.
Patchin and Lukens in the Frostbrook Coors Light Studio, 700 ESPN 105.3 FM. This portion of the show is brought to you by Global Credit Union. Wear Red on Friday. Wear Red Friday is something we do to support our troops and their families. We do it by wearing the color red. Vince has red on today. He's got a red shirt. I have my red wristband that you can pick up in any Global Credit Union branch or stop by the studios here at West 500 Boone. You can pick that up as well. I've got my red wristband on today to support our troops and their families. We would appreciate it if you do that as well by wearing red on Friday, either a shirt or like Robin Nance had today, an entire red outfit that she had, or like I am doing today with my red wristband. It's Global Credit Unions. Wear red on Friday. Happy to support our troops and their families, and we hope that you do that as well every Friday through the summer months. All right, news out of Seattle. Bobby Wagner and the Seahawks have agreed to a contract extension, a $54 million extension that includes $40.2 million guaranteed. Now, the sticking point through this whole contract negotiation for Wagner, at least what had been told, is that he wanted to be the highest paid linebacker in the National Football League. And C.J. Mosley this past offseason signed a ridiculous contract with the New York Jets that many people in the National Football League were upset. A 5-year, $85 million deal. He signed that back in March. And much like the Frank Clark situation, where the Seahawks just weren't willing to pay Frank Clark the money that pass rushing defensive ends were going to get, they boxed themselves into a corner and traded him away. With Mosley's deal, the Seahawks were kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place, as Wagner said he wanted to be the highest paid linebacker. I think, Vince, for lack of a better term, this looks to me like they worked out a compromise.
A win-win in a lot of ways.
Yes. If he gets $40 million guaranteed and $54 million for 3 years. Now, that's not this year. This year he plays for the current number that he's getting. This is a contract extension for 3 years after that. His average salary per season is going to be $18 million. Now, we don't know how they're going to structure it. We don't know if they're going to front load this, if they're going to back load this. What are they going to do with this? He's going to average $18 million a season. C.J. Mosley's average is $17 million a season. Bobby Wagner is going to average over the 3 years, guaranteed money, $13.4 million. C.J. Mosley's average is $10.2 million. So if you look at the per-season average, Bobby Wagner is the highest paid linebacker in the National Football League. If you look at the total value of guaranteed money and of total contract guarantees, because it's 5 years for Mosley, 3 for Wagner, Mosley still gets it. He's going to get let me phrase that. The contract could be worth up to $85 million. Wagner's could be up to $54. Mosley's going to win that. The guarantee is $51 million for Mosley. Wagner's guarantee is $40.2. The total average, Mosley's going to win that. So the Seahawks or Wagner, I don't know which side sold the other, that they would take less total money, but a bigger yearly average that would be allowed him to walk out of the room saying, I'm the highest paid linebacker in the league.
Next year, the Jets are going to have a $13 million cap hit on C.J. Mosley's contract. The Seahawks will have a little over $14 million cap hit on Bobby Wagner's contract for 2019 with the new contract. According to SpoTrack, the website that keeps track of all this stuff, they've already got Wagner's salary up there with his new contract.
Okay, so what?
So for cap hits right now, if you take cap hit rankings,
yes,
which is what they have, how they rank on this website, Wagner's number 1. It's the biggest cap hit for an inside linebacker in the league.
And is that's a what did you say? What's the number again, Vince?
$14,037,500.
Okay, that's the cap hit.
Yes, for the Seahawks.
Now we don't know if the Seahawks are going to pay all 40.
Right, you don't know how they're going to, because it's not structured. They have the contract up. The overall stuff about it's a $54 million contract with 40.2 average on. He's going to earn a base salary of $10.5 million this year, a roster bonus of $900,000 $937,000, an incentive bonus of $1 million. And
that's this year's contract,
yeah.
right? That was from the old deal.
Right, and it still carries a cap hit of
yes.
14. And I presume that has something to do with him re-signing with the team he was with, as opposed to playing this year out and then going as an undrafted free agent.
They backloaded his contract is what they did.
Yeah.
So that the cap hit was bigger this year than it was in the first years of the contract. Now, to me, Vince, I'd be very interested to see where the load is on this new 3-year deal.
Yeah.
Are they going to pay him $20 million?
His last year?
Each of the first 2 years? Because that gets your guarantee out. So when you get to year 3, there's no more guaranteed money left?
He's only making. I mean, his cash this year in his old contract is still worth $12 million.
No. But what I'm saying is because of the $40 million, do you pay that guaranteed money? Is it $20 million, and then $14 million in the third year with no guaranteed money? Because the Seahawks do have a lot of cap room the next 2 years.
Yeah.
After this.
So maybe that's what they're doing. The other part of it people have to realize is Bobby Wagner acted as his own agent. So he did not have to pay anybody 3%.
True.
To negotiate this for him.
He probably had an attorney that he's paying.
Probably a fee.
Yeah, $100,000, $50,000, whatever it is, just to make sure you look over the legal terminology of this.
Right. But he doesn't. And the other aspect of it is, as you mentioned in the break, is that he lives in a state with no state income tax.
Yeah. And that's something that Ron Francis, the new general manager of the Seattle hockey team, pointed out. He goes, we're going to use that as a selling point. And I would hope that the Mariners and the Seahawks and the Sounders and everybody else is using it.
Right. I'm sure they do.
Is this a good deal for Seattle?
Well, it's only 3 years, which I think is really good. Because you don't know how long an inside linebacker is going to last. And at his age, there's no way you could have given him a 5-year contract. I mean, he's 29. This next football season, he'll be 29 years old.
This takes him through 33.
32.
29, 30, 31, 32. Yeah, true.
And then, so when he's at 33, he's a free agent. So maybe the last year will be bad for you, but maybe, depending on how you structure it, you might get your guaranteed money in the first 2 years of it. So you're only expecting to play this year and 2 more, really.
Right.
And that's probably what his lifespan is. That's a terrible word to use. I meant
football lifespan.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. We all know what you meant.
Yeah.
We don't talk about people's lifespans in a mortal sense here on the show. We talk about their lifespans as athletes.
Yeah. And you know what? They need him.
Oh, there's no doubt.
He's the Russell Wilson of the defense.
There's no doubt. But if he tears up a knee or blows an Achilles this year, then you're on the hook for $40 million.
Well, if Russell Wilson does the same thing. I mean, there's certain aspects of this game you have to just say, we have to give it to this guy. We're not going to be able to replace him. You're not going to be able to replace Russell Wilson. I don't care. You're not replacing him.
I agree with that. They weren't willing to give it to Richard Sherman.
Yeah.
They weren't willing to give it to Earl Thomas. They were willing to give it to Cam Chancellor, and he got hurt.
Yep.
They were not willing to give it to K.J. Wright because he settled for a lower a bargain basement contract that he re-signed this year.
Right. To probably play next to his buddy.
Subman Joe, I believe, is a Seahawk fan. He just tweeted, "Woohoo!" And I think that's a quote from Rick Lukens as well. Vince, yesterday on Buy or Sell, we said, does Bobby Wagner sign a new contract before the first preseason game? And that was 13 days away yesterday, 12 days away. Vince, I believe, was the only one who bought that yesterday. You may have had one other person.
And I really was kind of, when you asked me if it, before the weekend's over, I almost said yes. Because I thought it was going to happen early or wasn't going to happen.
Well, honestly, Vince, they couldn't afford to have Bobby Wagner standing on the sidelines.
Well, today he was in a uniform.
Oh, he wasn't? Well,
he didn't do anything, but he was in
a uniform?
Yeah.
I'm going to guess that he probably knew this morning that this was done.
Yep.
Or if he didn't, they said, we'll get this done as soon as practice is over, and that's why he put the uniform on. He didn't practice, but he was out there because they told him this would be done. They probably agreed upon it, said, we'll sign it, or get your attorney in here. He can take a look at that, making sure you're good with that. They might have even agreed on this yesterday after practice. Because remember, they cut practice short yesterday for some reason. There you go. All right. When we come back, Wayne Gretzky, the great one, who lives here in the summertime in the inland Northwest. If you didn't know that, he's been here for 10 summers now. We're going to talk to the great one. He's part of the Community Cancer Fund Showcase tomorrow. We'll visit with the game's greatest hockey player, Wayne Gretzky, next. Patchin and Lukens here in the Frostbrook Coors Light Studio, 700 ESPN, 105.3 FM.
Live cage fights invade Coeur d'Alene Casino Saturday, August 17th. World Fighting Championships presents an explosive night of action. The card will feature Coeur d'Alene's own Killian Estes, Ryan Mulvihill, Craig Fleissner, Tyler Syjon, and many more. Tickets start at just $35. Visit the Coeur d'Alene Casino box office or WFCfights.com. That's WFCfights.com. Live cage fights August 17th. Don't miss it at Coeur d'Alene Casino. All bouts subject to change.
And 75 80 Corbett Models Real Estate Auctions announces a huge real estate auction of 30 lakefront homes on Priest Lake in Coolin, Idaho. 27 lakefront homes and 3 unleased building lots being sold on behalf of the Idaho Department of Lands. Deeded land, no more leases. You'll own them outright. Auction Saturday, August 17th at the Coeur d'Alene Resort. Deeded lakefront real estate auction, priestlakeauction.com, or call Corbett Models Real Estate at 208-377-5700, 377-5700, priestlakeauction.com. Sold.
Hello, radio listener. This is an ad for Hulu with no ads, which is clearly not running on Hulu with no ads because this is an ad running on the radio. But if this was Hulu with no ads, you'd be watching your new favorite show instead of listening to me, a voiceover actor in a radio ad, telling you that for just $11.99 a month, you can get Hulu with no ads if you're not into ads. And now, a legal disclaimer read almost too fast to understand. Live TV content always contains ads. Hulu no ads plan excludes a few shows that play with ads. Visit hulu.com for details. End of ad.
Today, business happens here, and virtually anywhere. Because today, innovative companies are reinventing the way business happens. And they need people who can keep up. With the expertise and technology to get packages to over 150 million delivery points. So, who can help you deliver the future of commerce? The United States Postal Service. See why we deliver more e-commerce packages to homes than anyone at USPS.com/future.
I'm Nick Soboleski, a Select Quote agent with a true story that could save you hundreds of dollars a year. A woman named Linda just called. Her husband, Ray, has a $300,000 group life insurance policy, but is changing jobs and can't take it with him. Well, I shopped the many highly rated term life insurance companies we represent, like Prudential and Mutual of Omaha, and found Ray, who is 41 and takes medication to control his cholesterol, a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $27 a month. That's almost twice the coverage for less than half of what he had paid. If SelectQuote hasn't shopped for your life insurance, you're probably paying too much.
For your free quote, call 800-212-1166. That's 800-212-1166. 800-212-1166. Or go to SelectQuote.com. Since 1985, we shop, you save.
Get full details on the example policy at SelectQuote.com/commercials. Or price could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
The Savings Explosion Sale continues at Dave Smith. Save thousands on new Chryslers, Dodge, Jeeps, and Rams during the summer clearance event. Shop DaveSmith.com. Find out why we are the world's largest Jeep Ram dealer. 800-635-8000.
The Seattle Seahawks season is underway. I'm Dennis Patchin with his Coors Light, 700 ESPN, 105.3 FM Spokane Sports Center. Pete Carroll and 90 players on the field Thursday for the first full team workout. Bobby Wagner was there as well, but didn't participate in any of the drills. He was off limits to the media, but KJ Wright did tell reporters something is going to get done quick regarding Wagner's contract. The Mariners have won back-to-back games for the first time in a month thanks to last night's 10-2 win over Detroit. Daniel Vogelbach knocked in 3 runs. Tim Beckham added a grand slam. Wade LeBlanc picked up the win in 9 games where the Mariners have used an opener with LeBlanc. He's 4-0 with a 2.86 ERA. Mariners the Tigers again tonight at T-Mobile at 7:10. For the second time in 3 games, the Spokane Indians scored 10 runs in a win, beat Tri-City last night 14-4. Indians back home hosting Vancouver at 6:30. The 700 ESPN 105.3 FM Spokane Sports Center is brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light, Spokane's most refreshing beer.
Missed an interview? You can hear them all at 700ESPN.com.
Patchin and Lukens here in the Frostbrewed Coors Light studio. Final segment of the show. Normally we don't have an interview in our final segment of the show. But normally we don't get Wayne Gretzky on our show.
No, not. I don't think I can remember the last time you had him on your show.
I don't think we've ever had him on the show.
What do you think, Wayne? When was the last time you were on the show?
The amazing thing is, and he's not a hermit.
No, he's not.
People see him out, and if you're out, and especially in the Coeur d'Alene area, he is out and about. They've lived at the Gaza Ranch developments for a decade.
Yep.
One of the very early people that were out there.
I think he had 7 lots or something out there.
Did he? I know that he bought his lot. He bought one for his 5, each one for his 5 kids.
Yeah, I think there's 6 or 7, and there's a pool out there where he has one of the lots is above the other one, and the slide starts on the lot that is up the mountain from the other one.
I'm just going to say that's pretty cool.
It is really cool.
That's pretty cool. All right. He is part of the showcase event that you can go to tomorrow. The first group tees off tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock at the Coeur d'Alene Resort. Tickets are $20. Park in the North Idaho College parking lot. Free shuttles to the event. You're going to have a blast if you go. If you've never been, you're going to have a great time. Get close to stars, superstars in all kinds of sports as well. And we had a chance to visit with a great one a little bit earlier today.
You know, the more time you spend here, obviously, the more you feel part of a community. And so for us, obviously, kids and sports are a big part of our life. And we've been fortunate enough to be part of a small part of the youth hockey program around here. And then, of course, through this event, be able to involve with this charity and help so many people who are less fortunate. And, you know, the greatest thing about living in North America, whether it's Canada or the United States, is that people want to help each other. People look out for each other. And events like this, you get some wonderful athletes who come in and give up their time. And just as important, you get some great business people that donate a lot of money to help this great cause. And it just turns out to be a wonderful couple of days, and can't beat the weather.
No, you sure can't beat the views either. How did you wind up here? How did 10 years ago, what was it about this part of the world that you said we want to spend our summers here?
I had never been here before, and a good friend and associate in hockey, Doug Waite, had just become part of the community, I think around 2008, and he said, you should come up and check it out. My wife and I came up here. We spent 6 weeks here, and we fell in love with it right away, and we ended up buying a piece of property and building a home. And, you know, my kids have come up here every summer, and we have 5 of them. And whether it's my kids and Dustin and our grandboys, everybody loves coming up here, and the boating is tremendous and the golfing is fun. And so it's just it's a great place for us.
We talked to your son when he was playing for the Boise Hawks when he played against the Indians, and we asked him, have you ever been here before? He got this big smile on his face, and he goes, I live here in the summer times. Yeah. It was. I mean, it's hard not once you make the investment in your time and your future here not to enjoy this place.
Well, it really is. You know, the great thing about our country is that, you know, the scenery and you know, the wilderness about it, and the lakes, and the people who live here. And so I always equate this place very similar to that of Canada. We're so close to the Canadian border. There seems to be a strong influence of Canadian sort of way of life around here. Nobody's pushy, nobody's overly aggressive, everybody's sort of laid back and helpful. And so for us, it's like it's a great second home, and we just truly enjoy it.
How's your game? You got a chance to play well here this week?
Well, let's put it this way, I'm probably not going to win this event. It's a little different than when I was playing hockey. I expected to win every game, and going into a golf event, I don't expect to win, but that's okay. You know, I always say to people, you know, being a professional athlete is hard, and being an elite professional athlete is extremely difficult. And the hours and dedication and the work you have to put into, the commitment you have to have, whether it's baseball, ice hockey, football, golf, tennis, it's hours and hours of dedication. And I always say to kids, it's not about practicing, it's about doing something that you love to do. And if you love to do it and you have a passion for it, you're going to put in so many hours and work so hard at it that you won't consider it work. And my dad always told me when I was a kid, he said, you know, the harder you work as a kid, the more fun you're going to have as an adult. And the more fun you have as a kid, the harder you're going to have to work as an adult. And it's so true in life. And so being a professional athlete is a great life. It's a hard life. But if you're dedicated to it and you love it, then it's the greatest life in the world.
I'm stealing your dad's line for my grandkids, if that's okay.
Okay, you can steal it. That's fine.
Thanks for the time.
All right, take care. Thank you.
The great one, Wayne Gretzky. Piece of advice there that I never will forget.
Yeah, and because it not only is it worth passing along, it's actually true. You know,
it is. When you think about it.
Yeah.
The harder you work as a kid, the more fun you're going to have as an adult, because that means you accomplished your goals and got where you needed to get. The more fun you have as a kid, which means you may not be accomplishing those goals, you may be screwing off, the harder you're going to have to work as an adult.
Yep.
That's.
Wonder what he calls his dad. I mean, if he's the great one, what's Dad? The greatest? I don't know.
I think he's just Dad.
Yeah, maybe the mentor.
Yeah.
Well, pretty smart guy.
Pretty amazing. All right, that is going to do it for our show today. Well, actually, we got a few minutes. Just a couple of things before we get out of here. The word of the day is wingman. You got an hour to get that in, because remember, at 7 o'clock, you can't enter the word of the day anymore. So get there, do that. Also, don't forget, this will be your final reminder, because by the time we come on the show on Monday, we'll have a new question up. So just don't forget, if you haven't answered the question to sign up for the Patchin and Lukens Golf Tournament, you need to go do that at 700ESPN.com. It's the Field Pass. It's our VIP club. If you're part of that, it'll be great. If you're not, you should be part of it, because there's all kinds of cool things, and that's where we give away our best prizes on the show. Also, don't forget that it's the Showcase Golf event tomorrow. Go to showcasegolf.com for more information. And if you check the list of celebrities that are going to be there, it is. I'm just going to say, to call it a ridiculous list would indicate it's not very good. No, it's beyond good. It's great. It's ridiculous on some of the stars and superstars that will be playing at Coeur d'Alene. And you can get to the golf course, and you'll get as close to a superstar that you've ever gotten by hanging out there.
I'm sitting next to you. I mean, that's
no, that's not even close.
I mean, that's a superstar.
That's not even close. We had Ray Whitney, the greatest Spokane Chief ever, on this show. He's the only guy with his number retired. We had Wayne Gretzky, the greatest guy to ever play hockey, on this show. There are 3 Hall of Fame running backs, Falk, Dickerson, and Allen, out there.
And Guy Charbonneau.
Guy Charbonneau is Guy Charbonneau.
What a great name, Guy. Is there a better hockey name?
I don't believe there is.
No, there's not.
The great one is pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, that's
the
a
nickname.
That's
a cool nickname.
It is the greatest.
He is. All right. Thanks to Mark, who was here all week running the board. We appreciate his help. Thanks to Vince. Always great to work with you, Vince. We appreciate that. Rick will be back on Monday. We'll see you on Monday at 3. Enjoy the weekend, and we'll be back to talk about it. Patchin and Lukens in the Frost Brew Coors Light Studio, 700 ESPN, 105.3 FM.
Spokane County Raceway is proud to announce the NHRA Coors Light Nitro Summer Nationals Jet Car Finals, August 16th through the 18th. It's a weekend filled with all sorts of racing and drags. Catch Dragula and the Munster Coach as they race down the track Friday and Saturday night. And meet Butch Patrick, also known as Eddie Munster from the Munster. Spokane County Raceway presents the NHRA Coors Light Nitro Summer Nationals Jet Car Finals, featuring NHRA Heritage Series event, Nitro Funny Cars, Nitro Top Fuel Dragsters, Blown Alcohol Thunder, Funny Cars and Dragsters, Northwest Nostalgia Tour, the BBFC Association, Wheel Sanders, Ed the Outlaw Jones, and Nitro Mike. Plus a Lucas Oil Summit Series classes 10.5 and 8.5 Outlaws, jet cars, and helicopter rides. Get your tickets and mark your calendar for a loaded weekend starting August 16th. This weekend is proudly sponsored by the NHRA Summit Racing Equipment Racing Series, High Performance Lucas Oil Products, Coors Light, and Dr. Pepper. Get your tickets today at SpokaneCountyRaceway.com.